What's going on, gamers? I was just at Slashback 2025 last month, and I asked a bunch of UNI2 players whether or not they were happy with the current patch of the game, 1.2. It's been nearly 2 months since the update dropped, and we started to see a common consensus about the meta of the game. I asked people whether or not they were happy about the direction of the game in general, and I think the responses I got were extremely varied. I hope you all enjoyed this interview series. This video is a proof of concept, and you can kind of see me figuring out as the video goes on. Let me know whether you want to see more long-form interview content like this, or more short-form interview questions like what Lid is doing. Some of the interviews were fairly straight to the point, while other ones got slightly more off-topic. One footnote though, unfortunately some of the audio is a little scuffed because I recorded some of the interviews right in front of the venue entrance, so I did some audio mixing to make sure everybody's interviews were audible. Hope you'll enjoy.
So, man. Alright, can you introduce yourself to us?
What's up? Yeah, I'm Mario. I play Uni here in Cali, NorCal to be specific. Yeah.
What do you think of the new Undernight patch 1.2?
I mean, I like it. I like the new shield change a lot. I like being able to dash block and just shield immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty cool. Like, it helps in Sony tanking matchups. For the most part, I think character balance is like okay. Like, it's not too crazy. I mean, Carmine exists, which is an issue.
Yeah.
Like him as a character entirely.
We got super buff this patch.
Or fucking change. It's insane. I don't know why you got that.
Yeah. Are you happy where Wagner is this patch?
Yeah. I think she's really good. I think she's a little bit under the top 5 section, but she's like right under there. I think she's a pretty heavy contender for top 5. I think so. Yeah, she's really good.
Who do you think the top five are?
Well, Carmine won. That's just forever. Carmine won. After that, there's some pretty good competition for the rest of the top 4. I think. What do I like? I still like Lon a lot. I think Lon is still pretty good. After that, I mean, Juan's still like okay. I mean, I don't know if I'd put him top 5.
Yeah, I don't think he's top 5 anymore.
I don't think he's top 5 anymore, but I think he's still pretty strong. After that, dude, I'd have to pull up like the character list. Like every time, I just keep forgetting. Like
I feel like every
here.
I feel like every single version of Uni, it's always like people always have different opinions.
It changes like per patch. I think. Okay, here we are. Who do I have now? I think Lon's good. I think after that, who do I like next? I think Hyde is good, but I don't know if I'd put him in like the top 5. I want to say Seth. I think Seth is really good. I think Seth is crazy strong. We're just missing that one person to really show us, because I mean, Randy isn't really playing Seth anymore. He's been really enjoying Hyde lately. So after that, okay, Carmine, Lon, Seth. After that, I think I like Elton a lot. I like Elton a lot, dude. Where do you even start with Elton? Like, she's just got like a very stable kit and just like these crazy options like assault ADP. Dude, I hate that shit so
I see
much.
Squish every couple days complain about Elnum and LGPC, and as an Acosta player myself, I completely understand. But character literally became one of our worst matchups overnight.
Yeah. And at Arc Tour, I was actually playing with Mawaru a lot, and he was giving me the word. We talked a little bit after, and I think he convinced me on Hilda also there in top 5.
In top 5. Wow.
Yeah, in his words, I mean, he puts her in top 5 as well. So I think I agree with him. I think Hilda. Where do you even start, man? Why does she have basically 4 bars of meter whenever she has Warpole, and like it's insane. Like, she has Warpole 200. She's doing spike into Roomba, and then you block this one time doing string. Same thing. Roomba's there.
And then if you're Warpole, she has like 50-meter refund.
Dude, she get plus the 25 already from with the 25. I think it's 25 Warpole. Like, it's insane, man.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah, I think that's my top 5.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Anytime. How'd you do in pool?
I dropped to Orion next to Lee. He plays Ogre.
Is that winner?
That was winner. So I'm still losers, but like still, we both job.
Okay. I mean, hey, he kind of just plays whoever. Like when Kuan first came out, he played like all Kuan, and then Ogre came out. He was all.
I know he was like a wall player for the longest time, but like
he's the reason why Smiles is the way he is now.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy.
yeah, like overhead when I was about to play, I was like, let's go Sensei. And like, damn, I didn't know you two were like that.
Yeah, dude, like it's crazy.
Alright, so you mind introducing yourself?
I do. If you don't know who I am, you're not very good at you. That's my opinion number one.
Just not in the scene?
You're not in the scene.
Wait.
If you don't know me.
You're not in the scene and you're not good.
Whoa. You're probably a net player derogatory. So what's up, Frank?
That's up games. Well, you're supposed to say that.
You weren't supposed to say that.
I was my bad. We might have to take this. Like, we might have to just
Might
take
cut
it
that out. Might cut that out.
Yeah, cut it out in post. Don't worry.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
All right, we're talking about the 1.2 patch. What do you think of it?
Oh, it was. I'm glad Kuon's gone.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy forever. Don't bring him back. Leave him where he is. You're trash. Carmine, I need a change. I don't know what the change is. I don't know if that's where we want the strength of Carmine to go. That was fucked up.
That's
Yeah,
Gravy
don't do
Jones.
it. Yeah, don't
Wait,
do
shout
it.
out.
Don't do it, Gravy Jones. Good luck.
That's the Gravy Jones, bro.
What am I doing? Are you?
Yeah, don't walk in front of this. Don't walk in front of this. Like
That's what Gravy.
Okay.
You should have walked in. That guy.
Comes in your matches, fun time.
You want Gravy walk in front of the camera? I gave you permission.
Yeah, you can walk now.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hi.
that guy's the top 8
demolished-
winner side. Well, like,
Demolished
Losers
food.
now.
oh man,
Demolished
sheep,
food.
good sheep.
Demolished
That's
food. Sword of Zappa. Fucked up.
fucked up.
Yeah, Carmine, so that health loss thing needs to be like 10 times as much, maybe. Or one bomb. One bomb. Bomb's better than web. Yakuza, 3 webs. Bombs, 4 times as good. 4 times as good. Okay. So, get rid of him. Let him hold D. Let him hold D, lock him out of that, and you can have all 3 of his buttons, but 1 bomb.
So like you put
Like
bomb
the
in
user
put
thing.
Yeah. Oh,
thing.
like
Yeah.
D holder. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you'll use assault, but like you also can use all 3 buttons. Fair trade. Hilda, I don't know. Hilda's scary.
Yeah. I know Mario was talking about it before. He has him in top 5 now. Do you agree with that?
Top 5. What's the rest of the top 5 then? So not Kuan. We got Carmine. We have got Carmine, Hilda, Elma, Sumar. Well, other characters fucked up. Sad.
Yeah. And it's 4 out of 5 to Mario's list right now. What's your fan?
Man, it's not gonna be Byakuya. We know Byakuya's not that strong. Oh god. What? Aurier?
Really?
Mario doesn't hate Aurier though. Who does Mario hate? So it was Hilda Carmine. What was it? Yuzu or bad? We're gonna walk in Yuzu.
Yuzu. I feel like Yuzu is always a shoe-in for like these top number lists.
Easy peasy. Character
easy peasy.
kind of overtuned in mechanics. Was that 5 out of 5 Mario list?
I think.
Mario, what was your 5?
What
What was your 5 top 5
was
list?
your 5 out of 5? Man?
Oh, Lon Frecchio.
Oh.
It was Lon. It's Mario.
It's probably that.
It was
I don't
fine.
remember, but it's probably
I
that.
fucked up.
I don't think so.
Like Lon character, walk in the park. If you're
Yeah.
playing Lon, you're carried. I did like the first 5 B&B. It took me like 5 minutes, and it did like 3.6.
3.6. Yeah, 5BB is like. I think 5BB got nerfed, and it's still like a really explosive starter, especially for how strong that button is.
The routing is so crazy on that character right now.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Shoutouts to Rick here, man.
Shout out to Rakir. Shout out to Japan.
Shoutouts to man. Shoutouts to Kaji.
Shout out to Kaji. Oh, yeah.
You have any other opinions on 1.2?
It's like solid. It's a nice time. I think right now I'm used to the system. I've accepted it. The characters, a couple are still up there though. But the system, the meter, the damage, it's an alright time. Yeah. We live in a nice world.
Think it's better than 1.1?
Did Uzuki get changed?
Yeah, Azuki got mega buff 1.2.
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. But hey,
It's not Technate.
True.
It's not Tekken
We're not
8.
season 2.
We're not season 2.
We're UNI2.
We're UNI2.
What's up? You mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Drunk Suika Boogie. That's illegal by Sony standards, so call me Suika. You can follow me at VanSuika_. What's up? How can I help you?
Yeah, it's definitely not illegal here with the bar.
Oh, dude, I love it here. Yeah.
So, what are your opinions on the 1.2 patch?
I think the 1.2 patch is in a direction that I don't mind. I do want more damage down eventually, but we know it's not going that way. We're playing a modern anime game now. I think honestly players are complaining too much. And I think that actually won really big this patch.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
So force function as a tool for Batista has been growing in like kind of flexibility. We've been using it to like kill other projectiles recently. We've been using it to like kind of skirt over things or set up 50-50s. That's been kind of standard during like the beginning of UNI2 and like when I was using it during CLR with CS. Now with the changes where it just penetrates projectiles, and she can cancel out of it if she clears projectiles, which leads to funny situations like Batista doing the low 2FF when I reaches like half screen and is low for some god awful reason.
Yeah, 2FF has been like a war crime for a long while now.
Yeah, but you couldn't do anything on a far poke unless it's CS, right? So it's like okay, but you know the real war crime 2FF, high 2FF.
Yeah.
That 2FF will clear that now, and then she can cancel into B ball. And you know what happens when you get counter hit by B ball?
Yeah, you gotta like.
You fucking die.
You die.
You die. You're absolutely cooked. So we've been doing that. Oh, actually, non-state players can complain a little bit because non-state Oki is like well known to be loose and messy because the fireball's on there. They don't need to commit. Well, that just and the fireball's gone. We cancel the B ball. It's our turn. What do non-states? They gotta tighten up their Oki, which causes rotations of their Oki, which means they get flash kicked again, and then they're sent off to another universe. So you know what, non-state players, you can complain a little bit, but only in the Batista matchup.
But like overall, Bat, you think Bat's in a pretty good place this patch?
I think that is in a pretty good place this patch. Damage-wise, our routing logic is catching up, so our damage routes are actually getting there with other characters. Execution-wise, that's the gray area, right? I think if you put the perfect Bat player up there, she's gonna do really, really well, right? But then the consistency and the flow really only Foxov has achieved that, like in modern Under Night for a long time, and it's for other Vats like me, it's kind of a hard on our mental energy. So if you can play her constantly that time for the entire tournament, I think she's great. If you can't, pick one.
Yeah, I feel like you and Ankle Gator have been like the forefront. Like Foxov is like,
He's ogre now.
yeah, he's ogre now, but like he was like the forefront of optimal Bat for a while. Like you and Ankle Gator are like in another dimension, you know?
Yeah, so I wouldn't hesitate to say that Ankle kind of fell into the school of Suika thought. There's a few of those. If you play Netplay, you know there's Ken, and then if you're in Europe, there's Air, and then Ankle now, right? A couple of Batista, Suika style Batistas. Ankle is kind of pushing some pretty farm like meme shit, and is really trying to dash drill all his bombs away. So he's gone past me in like insanity. He just doesn't have the experience to keep it up. But if you asked him to do a combo contest with me for highest damage, he has way more high damage bombs than I do. That's for sure.
I know he plays a lot, and for the people who don't know, he was like he beat Silent. He dropped his combo.
Yeah, he beat Silent and then he crashed. So like,
yeah,
that's the experience, right?
He did Seadrill against a player who's been playing for like years now. Like he knows that knowledge check.
It was close, but you just can't drop like that. That's a little bit of that stability we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just kind of lose your hands and then your opportunity drops. Well, we'll see how he does tomorrow anyways.
Yeah. You think he's going to make it far this tournament?
I hope so.
Yeah.
So I don't have to anymore.
It's like, literally, he almost beat Silent, right?
Yeah. Actually, I think Silent might have a bad time with Batista in general.
Why do you think that?
In my last tournament set with Silent back at EVO side tournament, he beat me in the winner side of the bracket, and then come the loser side of the bracket, I was like a little warmed up through the loser side, but he was a little lost. It seemed like I think there's just either he lets Batista get in, and when Batista's in, it's 50-50 city, and it's like pretty bad no matter what, or I think sometimes his pressure format doesn't lock Batista down enough and allows Batista opportunity. And when you give Batista opportunity, and like Fonon's a kind of a grid giver, you know.
Yeah, like during his set versus Silent, like Ankle versus Silent, he set down seed ball and then just rolled 4 times in a row. Like,
Oh, you know what he wanted? You know what he wanted?
Yeah,
He wanted Bijou.
yeah.
So
I mean, he did field drill him at the end though.
Yeah. So, Ankle will set the C ball or set the disco. He'll roll twice, Bijou. And because Silent didn't bite on anything, he rolled 4 times because he had to make it all the way there. Yeah, Ankle really just wants to live his best life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you really want when you play a hard character like Batista. Like, you can play her to utmost optimal whatever. But if you're not having fun with her, you're going to lose real quick. And even if you ask, like, Foxa wasn't labbing Batista to be optimal. Foxa was labbing optimal Batista because he found it fun.
Yeah.
And Batista is just all about, like, you pick up the character, you think she's fun, you just keep going on and having.
I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like, Ankle's a super happy-go-lucky dude. Like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
he's like yelling about Uma Musume all the time. Like, you know,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a Sunday like Uma Musume Cinderella Grey episode 2 watch like
Yeah,
tomorrow.
That was the sign he was walking around. He's like, yeah, come watch the Cinderella Grey, Uma Musume. Bro, you're still at the tournament. what are you doing?
Yeah,
But as long as he's having a good time, did you grab his stickers?
dude, I grabbed. My phone's over there, but I have
Oh.
the Batista Flame sticker.
Oh yeah, the Jason Flame one is so good.
Yeah.
His stack is like this big. That big. He's actually giving people like doubles if you ask him, sure.
Yeah. Dude, like I looked into his back and he just has so many random Unity stickers. He's literally like a merch farmer, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't buy. I don't think he sells them, right? He just gives it.
Yeah, or he sold the it cost Grinto at Climax, but he just gives the stickers away. Yeah.
Yeah, stickers are free. If you wanted the shirt though, it's over. That's limited run.
Yeah, limited run.
You lost the ankle merch.
Yeah, you have to be there at Climax.
Exactly.
Alright. Shout out to Shinobi though. He's here in town.
Yep, Shinobi here, big chillin'. Actually, Rurik right behind us is also just big chillin'.
That's right. I hope he doesn't go inside before I can interview him.
Oh yeah. We'll call it if he starts moving. We'll do a hot swap.
Yeah.
But yeah, come to the tournament. Even if you don't want to fight, just come and hang out. The homies are here. You can support your homies. Homies always need support. I think that's the big thing. Shinobi's here to support. Have fun, watch it out. You know.
I mean, yeah, just like the best thing about Slashback is like there's a bar literally right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it any closer than that.
Like it's probably obvious, but like I'm drunk as
Oh, yeah.
drunk right now. But like so is everybody else. Everybody's had like. If you ever come-
I plan on drinking just like shots just before Blaze Blue starts. I gotta commentate that top whatever.
Oh.
And boy, am I not ready.
You're gonna have a shot beforehand.
Maybe, most likely.
Really?
I'm gonna need it. That's for sure.
Those cocktails like those soju cocktails are like godlike.
I think last year I had 3 of the drinks and they're all Red Bull loaded, and I'm just like, I just had 3 Red Bulls and like in alcohol form. What am I doing? You can feel the heart palpitate.
You mind introducing yourself?
Todd Burrick. I'm in the Seattle area. At this point, I play too many characters. I don't know that I have a main at the moment. But Undernight's fun, so I just keep pressing buttons.
Yeah, I know. Like you were actually gonna switch to Hyde. Like if he remained the way he was.
Oh, absolutely. I played Hyde for a week, won my locals with him, and then he got nerfed. I was like,
you won?
Yeah. Oh, my locals were so mad that I had one combo with the character, and I did one slight variation in the corner, and that was it.
That's crazy. Who did you beat?
I beat April.
No way.
Yeah, I beat April in grand finals with
That's
Hyde.
crazy. April's my goat.
Alright.
She beat Breaker Dave like.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was insane. Yeah. So the main thing I was gonna ask you, what do you think of the 1.2 patch?
Honestly, like overall, it is a good patch. I like that basically every character feels really strong. Like, yeah, some characters feel a little bit more overtuned. Like, I would say that the defining difference between like the actual top tiers and people just below it, because like I think most of the cast is actually not that far behind top tiers, right?
Yeah.
But the difference in the top tiers is the best characters all have ways to call out like regular habits, fuzzy mashing, shielding, things like that, without actually taking the risk. Like Outlaw doing assault J63. If you shield, she's still plus. If you try and anti-air her, it's not head properly. You're getting out. So like she can just do that to check everything without a single bit of risk. Lene, DK Kuga, it will shit on anti-air. It's plus on shield. It will shit on fuzzy matches. So like it is such a safe way to just like call out habits without actually having to call anything out.
So like you said before, you said like the high tiers have a really like good way to like, call out everything risk free.
Yeah.
So the inverse, do you think the low tiers like they have tools to like pull things out, but they have to be really really committal about it?
Yeah, they have the tools. It's just they have to be more correct. That's the difference between the top tiers and like everyone else. Because like it's basically just S tier and A tier in this game. I don't think there's anything below that. Below A tier.
Who do you think the S tier characters are?
Eltnum, in no particular order right now, but Eltnum, Carmine, Nine,
Lene, really?
absolutely. Like Lene has great staggers. Her dash keeps getting buffed. Her 2B and 2C low profile jump-in buttons. So like she can't even get like crushed by like assaults or anything. Like she has plus frames that also frame trap. Like spaced 5C 236A, it will hit mashers and it's plus. And if they shield, it's 0, but it's at a good spacing for her. So after those three,
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Like after that, like it starts to like teeter off. I think. Oh, I still think Hyde is up because Hyde's his pogo still checks all of the fuzzy mashes without any kind of risk. Yeah, 6/6C is like slightly nerfed, but like it's still so good.
I'm surprised, like, for the longest time in Uni's history, like, Yuzu has always been, like, a top whatever character. You don't think she's in there anymore?
I do not think she's in there anymore.
Why do you think so?
Every patch, and this is like goes way back to like Clear 1.0. Every single patch, it's not like she gets nerfed. It's every character gets ways to bypass zoning.
So, like, people, like, characters catch up to her.
Yeah. So, like, right now, like, Tsurugi 236C, Wagner, dive into 214C, Nanase 22C. Like, so many characters keep getting things that just invalidate zoning. And that means that they can, they get to exploit her, like, weakness in her defense much quicker.
And, like, this is, like, specifically Yuzu zoning, because, like, Carmine, like, he throws a 6B, like,
so, like, the way when I'm saying, like, the zoning, I mean, like, pure zoning, where, like, you want to keep away. Carmine, if you make the mistake of blocking when you should have mashed, you're now holding real mix. That, like, Yuzu doesn't have anything that punishes you for blocking, is the differentiator.
So...
And, like, I still think she's really good. She's in the A tier with, like, everyone else. It's just, like, you have to be so on point.
Do you think Yuzu's, like, the most demanding UNI2 character right now in terms of bracket, or...?
I would say her and Seth are probably tied. Because, like, if... You never know what YOLO option someone might do that is, like, objectively bad, but it happens to work. And then that can just snowball the characters.
Yeah, I feel like UNI2 has a lot of more YOLO options now. Like, Wagner 214C and then Eng 2D6C, like, they were all unsafe before, and now they're, like, out of YOLO options, honestly.
Well, Wagner 214C is plus now, though. It's like, Eng 2D6C, at least just minus if you block it. Sure, it's no longer punishable, but, like, if you block it, he spent 100 bar to be minus. Yeah, like Wagner, she just does it, and if it whiffs, there's no whiff recovery. Same with Tsurugi 236C. There's no whiff recovery. If they block, they're health plus. So it's like, we can just throw it out.
Yeah.
And like both of them, the hitbox is not only half screen on the ground, it's half screen up top in the air. It anti-tears so well. I've had so many times where like I up back, Tsurugi does 236C, whiffs, 236Cs again, and then hits me at the end.
So like, you like I don't really like. Obviously, I don't have the user perspective, but like often like a decant or something, do like Tsurugi's like 236 CU or Enkidu's like also doing that as well. Wagner's.
No, but like no one knows how Yuzu works. I asked for a small, and he was like, and like they don't have to is the problem.
So what do you think? What do you think is like the top one thing people don't know about Yuzu?
So the habit that too many people have against her is they high block when she's in stance in the air. And that means if like she empty lows you, you can get hit. But like all of her air stance moves are all mids. All of them.
Yeah. The only low she has is like 6C.
Yeah, so and she has to land for that. So you can just if you see her in stance in the air, when I fight Yuzu, I'm crouch blocking. The other thing is like depending on range, a lot of characters have really good challenge options against blocking the air A slash, especially if you shield it.
Because if you shoot, probably people don't know, if you shield it, you can't cancel to anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
She loses cancel options. It's not like she's like giga-fucked or anything, but it immediately gives an interaction layer that too many people are not taking advantage of.
I feel like when people just like shield a 2366, like they just do it for the break. They don't know like the implications. Like yeah, like people literally don't know like there's no more cancel options. You just kind of feel like
yeah.
There, like
oh, actually, the number one thing I would say if like you don't know what's going on against Yuzu, if you feel a teleport coming, don't be a chump that tries to react to it and punish her. If you have the read, just up back JC. Different. Every character has like a different good falling button. Like what you want is a falling button that hits both sides. You want it to hit in front and behind. Like Lene JC is a really good example. Merkaba JC is the same. Akatsuki JB is a good one. The reason for that is Yuzu's fast anti-airs with if she like teleports behind. So the falling button is just going to smoke her. And 2FF is actually too slow to get the head invulnerability. So, like, if you do it preemptively, you're going to win that interaction like 9 out of 10 times.
Wow. Yeah. Just like sidetracking a bit, you mentioned Merkava. I know you played Merkava a little bit in Claire. Do you think you'll like return to him at all? Since he's super decent there.
I think he's quite good. I get bored playing Merkava because this is not anything about the character himself. Like, I mentioned, like, a lot of people don't know how Yuzu works. No one knows how Merkava works. And so, like, I spend way too many games just stuck on layer 1 because people keep mashing. And I never get to the fun part of him. And so, like, you have to, like, really be in it for those few times where someone's going to be, like, good enough to allow you to play the more fun part of his kit.
If you don't mind me, like, pretty much asking the same question, like, what do you think people don't know about Merkava, and, like, what do you find about him? Like, what do you find about the layer 2 fun?
I like, so, the thing with, like, you know, Merkava has a 50-50, right? But, and his 50-50 and a safe jump look almost identical. In order for the 50-50 to work, he has to do a big delay in order to have high and low hit on the same frame, right? And so, in order for that to happen, he needs that delay, which means there's a massive swing.
Like that like maximum window's big. Like that's
I'm just like if I think Merkava wants a 50-50 me, regardless of the character, I'm doing wake up 5 seconds. I'm 12 framer, doesn't fucking matter. And so, like, if you recognize that the Merkava is doing the 50-50 by the delay, you can interact with them, and that starts making the safe jump work. And so like that is a layer that like I basically never get to explore. Another one is just like using his air backdash to catch anti-air attempts. Like,
I feel like Mercs do that in casuals, but I never really see that in bracket because people like they're kind of afraid, you know. Like,
yeah. I mean, like, the people are mashing all the safe jump and dying, so, like, why would you 50-50 if you don't beat? But yeah, like, I think Mark is cool. It's just, like, against most players, I don't find it very fun.
So are you continuing like playing a hide, or are you gonna like?
No, because like I always found Hyde boring, and I was just like kind of making a point of how good he is with like so little work. Like right now, my newest characters, I'm starting to learn Carmine because I think he's currently top one, like absolute best character.
I feel that's a very popular opinion. Yeah.
Like I mean, some people are starting to put Elton up there. She has a lot of what makes characters broken, but she has to interact with the other player more than Carmine.
She doesn't necessarily have like the same like. Carmine 6B is like in a league of its own. Like Elton kind of.
You don't care if it's blocked.
Yeah, like if you block 6B, like it's basically like I've described it as a safe rank gun. Like even if you do like. Can't really challenge because every single one of the stages is like 6B, 6BB, and then like especially afterwards, like even like there's no good point to challenge.
Nope. And like if you jump it, Carmine wants the puddle to be behind you because 63B is more plus if the puddle follow up the dissolve is behind you. At that point, it's like plus 14. Like he just gets a dash in full screen.
It do kind of be Mickey Mouse.
I think this is the longest interview I have. You have any closing thoughts? I'm just gonna try to.
Like, okay. So I've said like a lot of stuff about characters being bullshit or whatever. I still think it requires a really good player to make all of these characters work. So I would not be like thinking that like the game is horribly imbalanced. Like I want to reiterate, there's like a few S tier characters and everyone else is in A tier. The game is in a pretty good spot. Like, yeah, like my longtime main is like no longer like the best, but like the game overall is still really fucking good.
Like I think as a hypothetical, like we view these characters as broken because like if you mash them, yeah, they get crazy rewards, but like you still have to like earn that like you still have to earn the privilege of them mashing in the first place. This game is still very, very defensive.
Yeah. Like even though offense is crazier than ever, you can still just wall people out. I'm still timing people out all the time.
Oh, like this random side question. Do you think the timer should be reverted?
Oh, like make the timer shorter?
Like how it wasn't clear. Like it was like a fake 99 seconds.
Yeah. I don't think it would change all that much, really.
Really?
Yeah. Because, like, the only characters that were, like, timing people out, really, was, like, using. And, like, if she's losing in this game, she's losing in 20 to 40 seconds. So, like, a shorter timer isn't going to do anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, 3 cycles is a lot to work with, like, with those extra 20 seconds.
Like, really, like, system mechanics-wise, my only complaint is meter gain is too strong. Like, it is so easy to, like, in the span of 10 seconds, build, like, 250 meters.
Do you think they should revert, like, the 25 on the ant spend? Or, like, just reduce it in general?
I don't know how they should do it, because, the meter refund is, like, a defining feature of UNI2. I don't like it, but I accept that that's kind of what it is. Maybe like introduce a much longer meter penalty every time you spend it. But yeah, like it's meter's too free. Like I'm sure you've seen plenty of times where Carmine spends 400 meter in one combo because of Celestial. Sometimes even more than 400. And so, like, I don't like Like, I don't like 6.5K combos being tournament combos. I want them to stay as Twitter combos.
Yeah, like I think 2 Gig literally like did a 3 like EX wheel like combo with like AWT
Yeah.
against Ohio, yeah.
Yeah. And like, okay, and clear, the Magical Christmas Land full charge VO combo for Yuzu, where she would like do that and then get her absolute best starter of counter hit 236C. That Magical Christmas Land combo is 6.5K. You would never ever land in a real match. And 2 Gig showed that it's entirely possible to land a combo that does more damage than that in tournament. Like, it's too much.
So last question, are you happy where 1.2 is now?
Like, if the game never got another update, I think we would adapt. Like, we adapted to Clear Batista. We would be able to adapt to Clear. Like, you've seen Papa Pesto play. He is the Carmine Destroyer because he knows that character so well. He can mash out correctly, like with such high precision. And I think the Uni player base would put in the work to get that good against Carmine, even if he is that. So I think we'd be fine, even if it stayed the way it was.
So what's up? You might introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Tabby. I'm an Undernight commentator, competitor, shit poster, like you name it. I kind of do it all.
Tweeter,
Yeah, unfortunately,
yeah, Yapper.
you've probably seen me on Twitter, and I apologize in advance.
You're like, I mean, your reach goes beyond like the Uni scene. You're like, you yap in different like.
Yeah,
spaces,
yeah, all over. But like, Uni's my home, right? It was my first game. It was first major I ever commentated. It was Climax 4.
Oh,
So
I
like,
didn't know that.
yeah.
Wow.
Like first like real FGC event even. So like, that's a whole other
I
story.
mean, same with me. Like,
Yeah.
same with a lot of like, honestly, like new French mid people.
Oh, yeah,
Climax before.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so what do you think of Uni2's new patch 1.2?
So like real talk, at first I was not a fan, right? I was like, this kind of doesn't do a whole lot, or like it did a whole lot, but not a whole lot, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It definitely touched the problem characters, but like, and like I've said this before, and I'll say it again, like the fact that the patch did nothing to Carbine is like, what are we even doing here? That character's just been nothing but a problem from the get-go, and the fact that they didn't like fundamentally really deal with him. In fact, they buffed him with like the force function change, right? So I don't know, but like claw nerfs, that's good. Like hide nerfs, that's good. Lawn nerfs or adjustments, because they really nerfs, but like they brought the character down to like they normalized all of, which I think is the important thing, and they brought some of those weaker characters up to that like more normal level, minus obviously a couple picks here or there.
I think it's a really good thing. It's like when we're complaining about this patch, it's just like Carmine period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one character that people have actually been complaining about, unironically, for like 4 game versions at this point.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the character in the way of the flow of the game. So
Outside of Kuan and like all the other top tiers, what do you think of Wagner this patch? Your main.
So, like, I've gone back and forth on this character and like how I feel about her. I think she is very strong. I would not put her in the like the top 5 parentheses 8 characters, right? But I would say like and obvious, she is a solo viable win a major character. You could only be a Wagner player and you could win a major. I think the changes were good to her. I think that she got like, can't even remember the full list off the top of my head right now, but like there was nothing that I saw in there that I'm like, okay, yeah, that's bad. So,
But outside of like, obviously we just touched on Kuan
Yeah.
being like buff for no reason. Do you have any other gripes with the patch?
Saruki, come on and listen to me, right? Why does that character have YouTube group neutral? Why does that character? He breaks rules of Undernight in some fundamental ways that don't make sense to me from a design perspective. Even Kimona himself in Lid's video, where he was asking people about like what's the best button in Undernight, right? Kimona said Saruki 236C. The man himself said that is the best button in the game.
And that's like, That bun is literally his fault.
Yes, it's his fault.
The crazy thing about that is like I don't think they touched it this patch. It's been like that for like
No, since Uni launched when UNI2 launched with Tsurugi, he's had the we call it the $80 EX move because I paid $80 at the auction tournament to make sure CG didn't get Tsurugi, so he could play, so to force him to play Enkidu.
Wait, this was at the combo.
This is a combo breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he's just slop. Right, I'm just gonna be 100% honest. The fact that you're seeing people like Kyo go off of their Bordeaux, the character they've been playing for a decade, and being like, yeah, I'm gonna play Tsurugi instead. That's a problem.
Yeah, I think that says a lot because I think Kyo for like the longest time also had a Kuon sub. He has a lot of time at the Kuon.
Yes.
But like on the event that matters the most, like probably the most in Under Night's history, like aside from like Evo, like he went with Tsurugi.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
And you're even seeing like Red Blade had a Tsurugi at launch, but then like has full switched over to him in this version of the game. You're seeing a lot of people like. I don't want to call him Hyde. I don't think he's as problematic as Hyde. I don't think he's nearly as strong as Hyde. But I think if you are a fundamentally sound player at Under Night, picking Tsurugi is not a bad option.
So why do you think people like fundamentally sound people should choose like Tsurugi over like a character like Hyde or like Elnum or something?
Tsurugi just deals so much more damage, and like Wagner's I can speak more on Wagner specifically from like a theory perspective. Wagner is a character who's always kind of been like deals an above average amount of damage across the board because she has her obvious flaws of like weaker neutral game, smaller buttons, etc., etc. Tsurugi, on average, deals like more damage than her. Some of the highest in the cast across the board. Like it's just why pick? Like if you're like I get the best example I can give, or sort of akin to this, is Breaker Dave back in Claire at EVO 2022 Community Showcase. Breaker Dave had come back to Uni. He had not been playing for a while during the pandemic because, netcode. And he's like, I'm going to play Waldstein. And the reason he's going to play Waldstein is because if you are right 100% of the time, Waldstein is the best character to play.
Yeah.
And Tsurugi is a character that you can be right 80% of the time and be in that situation.
Yeah. And then, like, speaking of that Evo, he also won that tournament.
Yes.
He won Evo.
Yeah, he won that.
He won.
He had played Uni, and he had like not played Uni a little bit like the weeks before, but hadn't played in like a year, and then beat everyone.
Yeah. But now, like, on Modern Day UNI2, up against his stream match against April, we actually saw both, like, his new main, Wald, and his old main, Rokava.
Did he pick? I was playing sets during that match, so I didn't get to see, but he picked Wald first.
He picked Wald, and then I think he lost the game, and then
swapped the Merc.
Counterpicked Merc against April, so he played the mirror against her.
I know neither of them like the mirror match, so I know Breaker Dave was like trying to avoid it, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes to try and win.
Yeah, I know April before the match was like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
She was like,
it's
the Merc match. I don't know what's gonna.
They had been talking about that match on Discord for like a week. And like worrying about it and trying to prepare for it in any way.
Oh, and PNW?
Yeah, and they've been PNW.
Because I know April's your local, you're both PNW.
April's Seattle. I'm from Portland. Despite what everybody thinks that I live in Seattle.
I mean, you're like,
I'm there.
You're basically PNW is like, it's all the same. Honestly.
Well, if you ask anyone from Seattle, PNW is only Seattle, right? That's their only range. So I'm NorCal actually. So let's go NorCal.
Yeah. Let's go NorCal.
Gets 13th place. But yeah, I'm trying to be like if there's anything else on the patch that I'm like, them doing the Lene 5C change, reverting that.
Big, yeah.
That was big, and I think that was great. I don't think any Lene player really liked that.
Comedy was kind of overstepping his bounds on that patch, like a lot.
And then the obvious Ogre, right?
Ogre.
Ogre was actually I put a lot of, not as much as like Foxoff did, but I put a lot of time into Ogre because I really liked the character design and that play style. The brawler style archetype is not something that we get a lot in 2D fighting games. It's a lot in like Tekken, but you rarely see, or it's significantly less common in 2D fighting games, especially anime games. So it's like, Ogre, sick, let's play him. And then as soon as I like got my hands on him, I kind of realized that a lot of people are like
I'm not gonna say wrong, but incorrect about the character. A lot of people are trying to play this as like hardcore rushdown character, but even if you've seen like if you watch like Fox Off Thoughts, some of the sets he's been uploading, you want to play him closer as like a whip punish character. You're just like standing like here versus him, right? Like kind of far away, and then waiting for them to come through, and then it's like boom, put 2-1-4 exit, find opportunities to dash walk, and you actually utilizing with the projectile to create some like close to mid screen pressure. He's really, really cool. He does have some flaws, and I think that I, as a commentator, like that's my main focus, right? I don't want to put in the time on a character that has those big of flaws that I would have to work with. I would rather just pick a character that I'm comfortable with and know I can do well in the bracket portion.
So, if you let's say like if Ogre got the Izuki treatment this patch, would you like 100% maintain?
I don't know if I can say that 100%. I can't say 100%, but he's definitely a character I would be like. I play him like every so often. I kind of like feel bad. Like pick him up there. You're good. You're good. Shout outs to be able to street interviews. But yeah, he's gonna really play around with pick more frequently, but also like Wagner is like one of my favorite like designs on a fighting game. I've never seen myself full switching.
I mean, they're both kind of brawlers, right?
Yeah, they're both brawlers, but in different aspects of it. Like, if anything, like my side project right now is actually playing Kuon because I wanted to play something on the opposite end of the spectrum, and I found out, damn, I'm pretty bad at this. I need to get better at it as a player.
It's a different, like, it's a whole different skill set.
Oh yeah, it's 100% a whole different skill set.
Yeah. Any more thoughts on 1.2?
It's a good patch. I think it's a positive patch. Yeah, yeah.
Nobody done. It's all good.
1.2 is great. I think it's a fundamentally good patch. I actually like the patch previous to this even less. Like, I was like, oh, I'm not a big fan of that patch. But this is a good patch.
Okay,
you're good. This is a good patch. It actually got me more excited to be playing Uni. Like I definitely like from a player perspective, being like, yeah, I want to hop on and play more. I rarely net play. I don't like net play. That's just me. But I'm even like net playing more. I'm playing get my locals more. It's 9 out of 10. Nerf Carmine. Yeah.
All right, so I guess my last question is like, what did you not like about 1.1?
It kind of felt like it did nothing to the game. It felt like it just took the game. It was a lateral shift, right? All the changes that came through didn't like fundamentally warp the game in any way. This patch did, right? You saw with all the major top tiers, three out of the 4 major top tiers receiving adjustments to bring them down. And in some cases, people could have won like even way lower on the tier list and whatnot.
I don't know what it is right now.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like they adjusted almost all the characters that we wanted adjusted, and some of the lower tier characters we got buffs to bring them up in power level. Like the Gord buffs, also insane. The Gord buffs insane.
And Uzuki definitely.
Oh yeah, Uzuki being like a functional character now. Like the fact that to the point even Defi is, I think, full of it.
Yeah, he's been on Uzuki pretty much every like net play tournament I've seen him at.
Yeah.
So, what's up? Do you mind introducing yourself?
Sure, yeah, I'm Arya.
Sorry, but make sure you have it's on, but make sure you have like the mic close to your mouth,
really close?
Or like this.
Like this? Okay.
Yeah, because like I've had trouble audio not picking up if it's like too far away like this.
I see, sure.
All right, so good evening. What's your? Do you mind introducing yourself?
Sure, yeah, I'm Arya from Vancouver, Phone Player.
So the main thing I wanted to ask you is, what's your opinions on the 1.2 patch?
Why the fuck did they buff Carmine, dude? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
You can swear.
Okay. Why the fuck did they buff Carmine? Like, oh my god. Why does it get meterless pickups off counter hit full screen full switching now? Like, what? Who thought he needed that?
Like, it was a pretty good tool before, like, but you needed your CS to convert, but now you can just get it meterless.
Yeah.
You
got a puddle under you and it's like, you just can't do anything at all now. It's like, he just wins neutral for from anywhere. Before it was like, okay, like you take some poke damage, right? It was like, whatever. But now it's like, shit. I'm just gonna down back until he runs in, I guess.
I know you have a Carmine local, or Carmine at your locals.
Yes.
Apocalypse? I don't know.
Apocalypse, yeah. That's actually my roommate.
Oh, your roommate?
Yeah.
I didn't know. But what's his reaction to like the Carmine buffs?
I assume he's happy.
Yeah, I guess any person would. Like,
Yeah,
two Gig's happy.
Get to do whatever you want now.
He's so happy that like he's active. Like, 2Gig's so happy that he's actively like showing comedy. Like, hey, this is too broken. What are you doing,
Yeah.
man? Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, other than that, like, I think the patch is pretty good. I don't think there's any other major complaints that I have about it, aside from the fact that Carmine,
Yeah.
he was already pretty egregious before, and then they just made it even worse.
So, outside of Carmine, I know Phonon got quite a bit of buffs this version. What do you think of her?
It was nice, but didn't really do anything to like shift her ranking among the characters, I feel. But there were some nice quality of life changes.
I know that like ICJC from Assault, like that work, like you can that hits on standing.
It hits on standing for full screen, yeah.
From full screen. It's weird, but like it's more like quality of life change than anything else.
It's nice, but it's not actually like that threatening. The main thing that I've been using it for is just to get rid of flash kick charges.
Oh, yeah.
So like in Kuan versus Bat, or like versus Kuan versus Bat, like I can just like force them to have to stand up for a bit. But in.
Because yeah, you're not reacting to ICJC.
Yeah, it's pretty reactable, especially if I'm like see it on full screen. Like, what else they're gonna do, right?
Yeah. Are you a fan of like the system mechanic changes, like the dash? Like it kind of hurts Phonon a bit, but what do you think of like the dash shield change?
The dash shield change. I find I'm having to dash block a lot more against a lot of characters, and especially in this game compared to Clear. So it's nice, but it's also pretty annoying as someone that's trying to keep people out too.
Yeah, like Phonon's not traditionally like a dash blocker. Like, do you think of her normal? So like, I have 4B. Like, what am I doing like dash blocking against like some of these characters?
Yeah.
But you know, if you don't, like, you just get blown up. You know, especially when like she requires such a tight spacing.
Mm-hmm. It's been really nice for the user matchup though.
Yeah.
I don't have to do like because before you would back in Clear you would just do dash 1AD so you can get crouch shield, purple shields, right? You can't get green shields. But then they removed 1AD, so now like you can't really do that in 2. But now it's like much easier, it's like dash shield.
Yeah, it's like a nice middle ground for like the return of like dash 1AD.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of back.
Kind of back.
It's kind of back.
Yeah.
So, I've been also asking people about like what they think of like the top 5 in this version. Like, who do you think top 5 is in this version?
Top 5?
And everybody said Carmine top 1.
Yeah, Carmine's definitely top 1.
But like outside of that, like Elnom's been pretty consistent, but like the 3 after that have been kind of like
mixed answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they nerf Kuan, they nerf Hyde, so like
yeah.
The answers people gave are a little varied now. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean like Carmine, Eldom, and then I want to say. One's still pretty good. Even when he's nerfed, he's still pretty good.
Oh, shout out to Rakir moving to Vancouver, because I know he's like your local now.
Yes.
Along with Joe.
He's playing Yankee with me though.
Oh yeah. I think he was playing Yankee on stream.
Yes, he was. Yeah. Let me think. I have to pull up this list. I can't really think of the 5th off the top of my head.
We can cut it out in post.
Yeah.
It's like when you pull up the dust loop, you pull up the movie.
I don't think anything like really changed too much except from like Hyde moving down a little bit and then Kuan moving down a lot.
Yeah.
Other than that, like other characters are all like still about the same as where they are. That's how I feel about it.
So just closing thoughts. Are you happy in the direction of 1.2?
Am I happy with the direction of 1.2? I feel like the game is getting in a better state aside from some bad balance changes. But I still prefer Clear systems over UNI2. I feel like the game is just getting too explosive.
Yeah. Like one of the main criticisms about UNI2 is the damage. Like launch, like vanilla UNI2, like obviously the IW damage was way too high.
Insane.
It was
Yeah.
insane. People were like just legitimately closing around saying shouldn't have the right to, just robbing people. But yeah, you're happy, right?
I'm pretty happy with the game, yeah.
Sounds
I
good.
can't say that I'm gonna be one of those people that just like go on Twitter and like complain like, oh, my game fucking sucks. Like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Like, I still have a lot of fun playing the game. I just kind of missed some of the slower gameplay in the previous version. But I still have a lot of fun with it.
Actually, one more question. So I know you've been playing Nanase for a little.
Yes.
Are you planning on playing her in bracket?
I picked her up for specific matchups. There's some matchups that Foreign really struggles with, and I really struggle with as a player, especially board. So I'm probably going to be taking her into board. Wagner's really bad for Photon. I know it's like not great for
It's also
Nanase
not
either,
great, but like,
but I have like slightly more defensive options and a slightly faster button to challenge pressure with on Nanase. And then maybe Akatsuki, maybe Tsurugi, who knows?
Both Photon and Nanase are also kind of weird against Akatsuki.
Yeah.
But, you know, they both do very different things. So like, even if it's just like, if it's not matchup specific or matchup favored, like it's a different vibe. So
Yes.
yeah, like they both test different skill sets in the matchup. So like, if you're not feeling it, like maybe like you can pivot off and like you'll find better success. Even though like theoretically, you're not getting the same advantage,
Yeah.
or you're remaining at the same disadvantage. All right, good evening, man. You mind introducing yourself?
Hi, my name's Ankle Gator, #1 Batista Truther. Out here on Twitter saying the truth that it's not good.
She's not good, really. I didn't know.
Not good.
I didn't know you were a down player.
No, I'm the truther. Listen, you can just leave Disco whenever you want. She's all mid. So bad. Not even frame 1 invul on A Slashback anymore. Or frame 1 head invul. Out here struggling.
So, what's your opinion on the 1.2 patch? If they nerf your main, I can tell it's not going to be that, or not nerf, but like you're not in the right kind of territory, you know.
Listen, if they nerf my main, as long as they buff Carmine again, it's fine. That shit's funny as hell. He needs to be able to release. He needs to be able to put down bombs and block stun at this point. That character's so funny.
So, why do you think Batista is, according to you, as a truther, like he's not in the meta right now?
She has a mid 2A, despite being a mid, gets low crush 1. All her mix, fake, B-drill's reactable. Listen, they say it's a 16 frame overhead. I had to charge that for 59 frames. That was in my head for 59 frames, and then I hit it for a measly 2.4. Unfortunate. All her Oki, free grid donation. Just roll it. She gets backdash, doesn't get a throw. Literally, if you're in the corner, actual advice. If you see Disco, take the throw. She doesn't get a gem. Because if you take the first one, she sets a gem. The second disco pulse actually hits the gem and blows it off. And just gives you grid. Fun fact.
So why do you think, like, let's compare this to Carmine, who's like, I guess you'd agree, like top 1 set play in the game.
True.
What makes Batista bottom 1 set play compared to Carmine top 1 set play? What do you think is the main difference between those?
Well, one thing, you can interact with Batista gem. I'm a zoomer. I did not play clear. You cannot interact with Carmine bombs, really. You can just do that if you press into it. He can block, and you take one of his best starters for one reason. Gem. Also, you can just delay tech, so if she tries to blow them up, you can just avoid it by not teching. You can also just back tech, and she can't replace the gems, Carmine, and then hit you with meaty into B plus, Carmine. God. And then she only has 2 lows, one -6, and the other is low-key kind of goated, but it's like 10 frames.
But even still, like, despite all the self-proclaimed flaws with Disco Ball, I see you, like, you've subscribed to the Suika school of thought where you, like, experiment with a bunch of other options, like EX Ball. Like, for an example, versus your set versus, with Silent, you did C Ball and then roll 4 times and then B-drilled him. So
low-key, Silent is actually the GOAT for blocking that B-drill. They must watch my Twitter clips because I have no idea how they actually block that B-drill. Full screen, I rolled 4 times. I got outplayed, I'm not gonna lie. Also, yeah, C-ball. It's my knowledge. What is it? My neutral skill. real, because Disco sucks.
Disco sucks. So compared to Disco Ball, why do you think it's a neutral skin?
Because most of the time I do it in neutral, and they're so like flabbergasted I actually use that move. They are stunned and let me get it off. A lot of the time they don't remember roll like this and they can just leave. They don't remember they can just mash shield and I get blown back. Yeah, most of that, because that's not worth labbing against, because she's bossy.
She's not with Vlad. Despite all pops up like
Shut up, fucked up. That, that's why he's on Oku now. He played that for what, like 3 months? And he's like, nah, this character ain't it.
But despite this, you continue to forge forth with that. Why do you stick with a clearly bottom 5 character when Karma's right there?
Listen, I've been playing bottom 1 my whole life. I started the game, plays Luke Calamity Trigger. I picked Tager. I played Tager new for years. That's not even that bad. It's like 7-3 at worst. But I played that, played some BB tag. I ended up on Tager Wall. Pretty good team. And then I played solo. And then I get to solo Tager, bottom 1 character again. It's just, I think once you learn about bottom 1, it's like, this is my character. I'm so much better once I win the 1 out of 10 games. Like, that dopamine rush is too good. Same thing with that. Once I outplay them in neutral speed 500 times because my combos don't do any damage, I'm like, man, I'm so nice. And I wake up B-Drill because they didn't want to meaty me because they were too scared of 1776 damage on a B flash kick. It just it helps me sleep at night, honest to God.
Yeah, so as the bottom 1 enthusiast, I've been asking people about top 5 in this game, but I think you're more qualified to talk about who sucks in this game. Are there any characters that are suffering as much as Batista right now in UNI2?
Any character suffering? Well, I would say Chaos, but I just saw Snappy win really hard in brackets, so Chaos can't be that bad. Who is bad in Uni? There's Gord. There's Enkidu. I can't say Wall. I guess Gord and Enkidu, they have to block B-Laser when they're crashing. So they have to block Batista, so they cannot be a good character. There's Kaguya, but I don't think enough people watch Lid and play Kaguya. I think that character low-key kind of broken. Low-key.
Really?
I think so. Mostly because I get hit by 6-6C, but that's just me. Because it beats Batista projectiles, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, it's like multi-hit, it deletes them, and she's plus double digits.
It is like, you can hit confirm that if you look away, take a swig of water, you're like, oh, 6-6C hit, full spin combo, into corner. Okay. So I don't think she's that bad. Anyone else? No. No one really comes close to how bad is. People say that A flash is best defensive option in the game. Let's be real. If you just block, you get the best punish in the game. If she's right, you take peanut damage, and you get a reset to neutral, so you can farm grid again. They just don't have the right mindset.
Alright, so what would you like to say to all the people who you hit with Wake Up A Flash Kick?
Wake Up A Flash Kick. Why are we scared of B Flash Kick? Real? Why did you delay the meaty? I'm not trying to actually OS. I pick an option way beforehand, mid-combo, and I just do it. If you get hit by A Flash Kick, at least you didn't get hit by Wake Up Meteor. That's better. But yeah, just meeting Batista. The worst that can happen is hit for nothing, but just take the damage. That's all I gotta say.
The Batista is probably ruining our audio, so just as some closing thoughts, are you happy with 1.2?
Low-key, not even low-key, I think, I watched some clear boss, and I think if they cut meter gain and low-key turn the damage, cut the damage by every character in half, it would be so fun because I want timeout. And it's kind of hard to time out when you lose in 3 interactions. I feel like I'm playing Strive, but I left that game for weird hills.
One more thing I've noticed, just to end it off. I feel like there's a huge dichotomy between your Uma Musume and then bottom 1 loving habits. You know, Ogre Cap is probably like top 1 in your mind, but then you play Batista. Like, how can you? How could you support such a top 1 protagonist? You know.
So you know how some businessmen, they love to be on the side, they love to get dominated. See, when I pick a bottom 1 in a fighting game, I gotta go for the top tiers in every other game. Gundam, play Providence. Broken top 1. Every other game, CF, play my Natsume. Broken. Top 5, easy. Because I can only get that much bottom 1 in my life. And everywhere else, I gotta be like, enjoy life. And here, when I play Batista, that's when I humble myself.
So like, the life-defining moment of you taking up Hager and Batista, what it feels like.
Hager making me learn the matchup, and then I'm tired of learning it. That's why I pick mine CF now. Maybe one day I'll pick up Carmine. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
You'll be like that horse girl from the countryside, like Carmine, just dominating everybody.
Carmine dominating everyone. Not dropping my combo, killing silent, being in winner's side. That's another me. That's another me.
Be the best Batista in North America. Ankle Gator.
Do
they drop that line tomorrow?
I think it's like, okay, I think they actually dropped Uma Musume Cinema Gray at like late at night on Saturday for like, or like early morning for Japan Sunday. But hop on Cinderella. Gray.
Hop on Cinderella. Everybody,
so good.
Everybody tomorrow is gonna hop on Cinderella Gray.
Everyone at the Marriott.
At the Marriott.
At the Marriott. We're gonna figure this out somehow. We're gonna have a group watch. Loki, I don't think anything's happening in episode 2. But
Peak Fiction.
Peak Fiction. Literally, when you get to Obey My Master, it actually will change your life. Actual cinema. I can't lie.
My one last request. Do you mind if you hold up the sign to the camera?
I got you.
Hell yeah.
What?
Oh, that wasn't the sign about what you. I'll double team with you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shout out
to the Filipinos and
shout out Jatsu, shout out Mosin, shout out Rihanna.
That was also not the sign I was thinking about. How many signs do you have?
Wait.
He has a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4. Alright.
Hop on Cinema Gray.
Bring me a little closer.
Here at Slashback 2025. So good.
Shout out to the Filipinos.
Shout out JC.
Shout out Jason.
What's up, dude? You mind introducing yourself? Bryce Rivera, East Coast Merkaba player, I guess. Streamer guy too. I do a lot of streaming with majors.
Streamer guy, not as in the Twitch guy. He's running other people's Twitch guys.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the main thing I wanted to talk to you about is the new Eternite patch 1.2. What's your opinion on it?
In general, it's pretty good. I think there's still a lot of balancing issues that we need to address soon, I guess, in the next patch, I guess. A lot of the top tiers are still a bit too, skewed high up, I think. In particular, Carmine's, the biggest one people.
Yeah, he got buffed outside of, he was really good at 1.1 and then got buffed. So now he's, debatably top 1 at top 1.
He was top 5, top 3, debatably, but now he's just undisputed. If you want to win, play his character right now. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So outside of that, I know Merkava is one of the huge winners of this patch, and you play him. So what do you think of him this version?
He got a lot stronger. He was able to catch up with one of the power trees I guess that's been sort of going on these past couple patches. The worm chain is really nice. You don't know. Worms now stay out on its block. They used to be part of the global trade from vanilla all the way up to now. But now worms stay out unless they're interacted with or he's hit. And now his global trade is just a special cancels.
So you think he's part of the top level characters now? You think he's up there?
Merkaba, probably not. He's still probably the pack, instrumental, somewhere in that range. If I were to put a number, maybe
11 to like 15. It's the best character.
So what was your opinion for Kyle last patch then?
I thought he was like really bad. That's why I started playing Hyde a lot more. I was like, his Hyde champion, it's crazy. Merc is kind of struggling right now. He needed some help. The Worm champion definitely helped a lot. I think he still might need a bit more of a push for like frame data if he wants to be like within the like top 10 again, like he was in like clear and ST, you know.
What frame data changes do you think he needs for him to be like at that top layer of characters?
I think if they give him back his hitbox on his 2A, we talk about this all the time. His 2A used to anti-air like he used to. But they changed it so now it gets crushed for like you can't use it to use it on a Blink OS like 2A AD, 2A mash. If he got that back, I think he'd be a lot scarier, especially if he's on like defense still, because you have more options. Maybe if they made his 5B a bit less minus. I know they just did by like 1 frame. That doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
If they let him like poke a little bit more safely and neutral, that probably.
So just hit before that, like some of the top tiers were still like fairly like high, but this patch they got nerfed. Do you think they're like in the same place as last patch?
Like the current characters?
Yeah, like the current top 5-ish. Like Hyde, Elmo.
The only one that moved down, I think, was like probably Coolon a little bit.
Yeah.
He moved down like probably to like outside of 5 or like 5, 6. Hyde probably moved down, but he's still within the top range. It's definitely like Carmine Elmo. Hyde. Bonfire like
I'm surprised you said Yuzu because Rurik had like Rurik did not like obviously it's kind of biased, but like Yuzu wasn't up there for it. So why do you think she's still up there?
I think she's like theoretically like on like a theoretical level of next character in the game, I think. But
Even above Farmers.
yes. I think like if you break the game down to like I'm only using like my brain back and forth, like there's no execution text like anything. I think using the best character like far enough. A lot of people might not just like agree with that, but I think she's like walking. And she can just like zone for free, she can get around, she can teleport, she has like it's an ins and outs. They gave her in at least in clear, or from clear to UFF, which is like a clear thing that she like did not need because that was like the only space right outside of like 5 feet. Yeah, like it's just anti-air.
Yeah, but like obviously she got like 2FF to kind of patch that out. It was like a weakness of hers. So you touched on how like Hyde got like a little bit toned down. Are you planning on staking with him as a sub? Like are you ever gonna pick him up play him in tournament?
Yeah, I played him in a few games in tournament today actually. Oh yeah, it was I didn't do too hot, but like I think I'll probably invest a bit more time, serious time into Hyde. It's gonna be a lot of fun too. It's not just the fact that he's really fun. And you kind of just turn your brain on.
So like we kind of just prioritize like having that like neutral dominance, like kind of like Merkaba. You just like there's a bit of 6-6C, like 2FF, and like it's like Fireball in general with like Benson, like Fireball Ben Sinister, and you're on that.
Yeah,
like you prioritize that in the character. Just having an instant threat, right? Like instant threats.
Yeah, just being able to like go like with like access to like meter or like CS or like any resource, you have like an instant game almost. Like you said, like you follow up and like EX Fireball's like instant like plus 20. He's like always a threat for like any range. People cry on it, but like lasers kind of good sometimes. It's like your knees. 2FF, 4F 115 projectile, 150 projectiles. He's fun. He's super threatening anywhere, which I think is really appealing about him, and his damage is like super hard.
Yeah, it's absurd. I know, shout outs to Chandler, Silicon, our goat. He's been also on that Hyde grind as well. We've seen the Hyde like from him a lot. Yeah. Is he like kind of in the same boat as you?
He's the one who put me on Hyde originally.
forever ago. He's been playing high actually since like clear. No one really knew about it.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
He won tournaments back in Philly over like Zoe and I, which is like high like, way back when. This is like late clear. Yeah, he's Rest of you, Chandler. Wish you could have been here.
Yeah. Shout out to the two cats though.
Yeah, Jack and
Make sure he doesn't watch this. I don't know. But yeah, so that's some closing thoughts. Are you happy with the direction of Uni 1.2?
Yeah, I think Uni 1.2 is good. And overall, like, we're not gonna get a perfect balance patch ever. Like, we're not gonna get a perfect like ban list of any card game. And I think it's like really close to being really good. They just need to address some of like problems. And I think like fix a couple of the weaker characters balance. Like, for example, I want to point out Mitsuki. I think if they made her a better all-around character, took away from her need on like lead off, like an actual threat rather than just kind of like check character.
So if Uni 1.2 was on steroids, do you think that'd be like close to as perfect as possible, basically? Because like it's in the right direction, but like as you said, it didn't tone down or like tone up enough like characters.
Yeah, I think if Kamori just gotta lock in. And couple tweaks once they add the character like Izumi, their name.
Easily, yeah, the third, the fish.
Yeah, once they add her, like just gotta tweak the top half, sort of bring him down. No more buffs, no nerfs.
But I'll end it off with a special shout out to, I don't know the exact name of it, but it's like the Philly stream on Mondays.
Oh yeah, we just call it like just like the Philly Monday meetup for Uni, I guess. I don't know. They had like an artificial name that the venue gave it, but we never used that name. Just the Philly Monday meetup. It's on Silicon Switch. It's like Silicon with a 0. I think it's a restore thing.
Good afternoon, Silent. You mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Silent, aka Jack Ingoff. You probably know me by that tag. I'm a phone-on player from Texas, but I usually rep the Puerto Rico flag. So that is me in the flesh.
Yeah, Mr. Ingoff is worldwide around the FGC. But anyways, what are your opinions on Uni2's newest 1.2 patch?
So I think it's honestly the best version of the game by far. I think the launch Uni2 was like pretty sus, but I think the version after that with Lon, getting 4 CC, Ender and stuff, that patch fucking sucked.
Yeah.
That was not a fun patch, but obviously Uni2 is Uni2. I have my gripes with the game still, but I think for me personally, this is the most fun version that for me to play in. I'm definitely getting the most enjoyment out of this version. Partially due to phone on getting some buffs that actually like make sense this time. I'm pretty happy about that, but I do have some gripes about it though.
Yeah, so like you said, Phonon got a couple of meaningful buffs this patch. Like, I think the biggest one was Assault ICJC hitting from a
yeah, that one is pretty. That one is pretty big. It's weird because like that change really doesn't fit my playstyle. Like, I'm not gonna be assaulting like full screen like that with a assault normal that literally covers full screen. It just feels weird. But the big change that I really like is her 2A getting 1 frame less recovery. So her rebeats are now, she has -2 rebeats now with 2A. And she's able to actually get a meterless pickup from mid-range. Normal hit, 2C with 2A, 2B, she gets that pickup now. So that's the Uni2 rebeat, special that every character has for some reason. Carmine 2C with 2A, which needs to get removed.
Yeah, a theme of this patch is like a lot of characters or this
game in general.
Yeah, game in general. Everybody's getting like more pickups off of everything. So is that what you said before that you had a lot of gripes with you had some gripes with Uni2. Is that one of them?
Yeah, I think I'm a person that really believes in like player expression. I'm not trying to like glaze myself, but it's pretty obvious that like I play a lot differently. Not only compared to like phone players, but I feel like I'm one of the more like unique players in terms of style. I'm a very aggressive player, which is odd considering the character phone on is. But I really was a big fan of player expression and proof that players really like putting the wrench time with their character. A big example for me is Eltonum 214A before UNI2. So before then, when she got 214A, she would have to do a dash of 2B, and that was like very hard to do. But you could tell an Eltonum player was seasoned with the character when they did it, but now like it just vacuums you in. You get like an easy mode Johnny Donuts combo. And things like rebeat pickups now, like Carmine 2C with 2A. 2C is probably one of the biggest defenders, if not the biggest defender. Like I think it's a little bit too extreme, especially for a character like that. I think if that was given to someone like the weaker characters like Enkidu, like it was exclusive for those characters, I think that would be fine. But when you give it to characters that with the 1 AD change, they're bound to be like top tier. It's definitely like a big paradigm shift, I would say, for lack of a better term.
So a lot of characters that you just mentioned, like they've been kind of in the trend of like benefiting all the Johnny Donuts. So you think like the characters you just mentioned, like Hyde, Eltonum, I've been asking people about their top 5 in this game. You think they're up there?
So I think it gets kind of shaky because this patch has been a weird one. There's still characters that like. I think there are some big power creeps this patch, but I think uncontested Elton is top 1. I mean, Sonaro is probably the best uni player of all time at this point, off results alone. I mean, his performances cannot be understated with that character. He's a legend, but what he does in that character, and I think she has the 2 best moves in the game. I think TKA Air DP and 6-6C are like the top 2. Those moves are crazy. And like on top of that, other tools got juice. Like FF got juice. 214A is like absurd. But I think Eldom is uncontested top 1. I think my top 5, I would probably put Carmine still. He has not gotten any meaningful nerf. I honestly don't know how you would nerf that character without like gutting him.
Yeah.
Like ST Carmine was pretty bad. But I think he's top 5 this version. I think a character like that by design in this game is just top tier off the kid alone. Because when you remove 180, that was like the #1 defensive option you had against him, to deal with like bomb setups, negative edge setups, whatever. And you don't have that option no more. So you just, like when you watch like Philip or like Pesto, they're just playing nose. They're just like one turning people in the corner all day. So I'll put Carmine number 2. 3, I still think Yuzu's top tier. I don't know, how you think. Like I can't see that character being below bottom, or I was gonna say top 5, below top 5. Like that's just a character by design. Her toolkit is so strong, and having a combo throw is so valuable in this game. And people initially were saying like roll is good against Yuzu, but I don't think that's the case. And like 2FF is still the best force function in the game by far. Even with like all the quote unquote nerfs, I think it's still super strong. I think 4, this might be a hot take, but I actually think Hilda is top 5 this patch. I think Roomba is the best super in the game. It does have some semblance of like interaction with counterplay, but once a Hilda has 100 meters and they set Roomba on the floor, it really just changes the tide of the match. Like when you watch Mawaru play, when you watch them at Arco Sword, he got so much mileage off like a hit into Roomba or VO into Roomba. I think that's so strong. And like her neutral is so good this version. Her zoning has, gotten buffed incrementally, over the game's lifespan. I think, her combos are really good. Like a steer ender into pin or steer ender into gloom set is very, very strong. So I think Hilda is top 5. She's underrepresented, but I think Mawaru really showcases the power of that character. End roll 2 as well. Low as well. I mean, Untold is good. There's a lot of strong Hilda players, but I think the 5th spot is where it gets like a little bit dicey because Juan, he got nerfed, but he's still very strong. Kuan, I think, got the hit the hardest this version by far. So I think it's honestly a toss-up. I think Batista is very strong right now. I think she's very overlooked right now. That character, the things Fox does with that character, even like I see Suika play, Jock is getting Poirier. But anytime I see a Batista's version, that's good. The game, she has a lot of leverage with like gem shimmies. Disco ball is a very strong special. It's out as well. People are doing JFFCS with Batista, which is super strong. I think Batista is top 5 this version. She plays a lot differently than her previous iterations. I really think this is. I don't think it's not the strongest version of her, but I think it's the most unique version of her and the most like entertaining to watch. So that'll probably be my top 5.
So I know we just talked about a lot of the power creep that happened in UNI2, but overall, do you think this patch 1.2 is heading in a good direction? Like, obviously, you're a little biased since like your main got buffed.
Yeah.
But like we got like huge, like we got really big changes like dash, like shield. So like, what do you think of like?
Yeah, I think there's some things that really, I like the guard thrust change. I like the VO change. Make the defensive options better, but there's still a lot of like more risk to it. I like them being counter hit state. I like that change a lot because historically, a space guard thrust would be very hard to punish. I've lost so many games trying to punish a guard thrust that was like at max range, and like I just can't get the punish. So them being a lot more minus, but not only that, but being counter hit state is honestly pretty nice. But I do like how it's easier to get guard thrust out and blocks them as well, because once you input it, it's gonna come out as soon as possible, which I like a lot. Another thing that I really like is, some of the character changes I think are really nice. One finally got nerfed. I think a character like that having a high should have existed. His neutral is already like so powerful, and I like the trend. They're trying to figure out like character identity in the game with what characters want to be, kind of like how Phonon from ST to clear. They figured out how she was overtuned. They nerfed that, but they gave her they placed more emphasis like on the ground game. I think that's what they're trying to do with Quan. Same with like Lon. I think a character like that should be more grounded. Ice Rain is still good, but it's not as like overpowered as it used to be. So I think Komone, I give him a lot of slack, but I think like he has some concepts and he's starting to realize some things. I mean, the game's been out for a year, so it's hard to really gauge what needs to be changed, especially in a 6-month span. So I think the game is heading in the right direction, at least for me, even without the buffs. I'm having a lot more fun with the game, but Eltonum still needs to be addressed. Carmine still needs to be addressed. Yuzu, I don't know how you change that character. My character has a good matchup into her, so I'm not gonna go too hard on her. But I think Eltonum and Carmine definitely need to be changed. I think once those characters get a meaningful tone down, I think the game, it won't be perfect, but it'll definitely be the best version so far.
Yeah, so those top tiers being toned down would be your most ideal version of this game.
Yeah, I just Eltonum and Karma, especially Eltonum, her game plan just devolves into, at least on the defensive end, when is Eltonum going to do a random 660 in neutral, and you're just waiting for them to do TK ADP to bait your OS. That's really how it feels on defense. You're just waiting for 2 options, and her offensive structure and mental stacks you so much because of how much plus frame she has. And how good her staggers are close range. She has really good long range, almost different farm up now. So that character mental stacks you shit. So I think toning down 660 and ADP would be pretty beneficial to the game, I'll say.
Yeah. So my last closing question is that we've talked about toning down the top tiers a bit. Do you think in response we should tone up the bottom ones in a future patch?
That was a what you call a sneeze, that was a premonitional sneeze. I just got spooked thinking about it. But it really depends. Buffing low tiers when done wrong can have serious consequences. Or buffing the weaker characters.
Azuki super
yeah, I think Uzuki. She definitely needed buffs, but I think they kind of overtuned her a little bit. The Dolphin buffs. That was already regardless of what that character's kit was, Dolphin alone was a very, very strong special, and they buffed it again.
It's a Johnny Donuts move.
It is very if you saw Defi versus Kyo, he was just spamming. He was just mashing Dolphin and block stun, But I think there are characters that do need help. I think Enkidu for sure needs help. Ogre, I think Ogre's still getting developed. I think he has potential. Orion, I'm sorry, Twang. Orion has been doing well with Ogre this weekend. You see Foxo doing well. Vincent has been doing well. Teeps in EU has been doing well with him. So, I think that character is starting to get developed more and more. I think Akatsuki's not in a good position. I think this is probably the worst he's been in this game. Uh, I think Akatsuki probably needs some help. I'm trying to think of some other characters that need some. I think Phonon is fine. I don't know what you would change about her. Just the other characters are detrimental to her. So I think like once her matchups like get toned down, because as a character, I think she's fine. Like there's really not much you can do without making her like super broken. So I think characters getting toned down would benefit her. I'm trying to think of some other characters in the game. I think Linne is fine. I think Enkidu is really like Enkidu is like the true big standout for this version. I think Enkidu is like not that good. But honorable mention for my top 5 Sarugi. I forgot about him. That character is a problem this version, but no one plays him. I mean, he's boring as shit, so I get it. But that character is definitely a menace this version.
I feel like a lot of the strike throw mains are definitely like starting to think of picking him as a side, or like already have him as a side. Replay used to have like a solid Tsurugi like before this patch, but now he's like you see him a lot more in the Tsurugi.
Yeah, and even like Mo is learning Tsurugi. Kyo played Tsurugi at Arc World Tour. It's only a matter of time. That character, besides like Eltnum, probably has like the best like non-set play strike throw in the game. I would say. At least I say set play strike throw in terms of like Karma, you have like an object covering your strike throw. But in terms of like just raw normal strike throw, I think Tsurugi's like probably like top 2, top 3 characters in that regard. His TRM damage output is absurd now. I think a character like that TRM with a command grab is already strong on its own, but or a TRM that leads into a combo is already strong on its own. But when the board is like that, it is very egregious. Very, very egregious.
So, this has like final question. Are you excited for Azumi at all?
No, that character does not. Besides her VA, that character really doesn't move me at all. And like it's a bad time when all the non-SA players are excited for the character. That's already like bad vibes. That character really doesn't move me at all. Like Ogre was probably the character that moved me the most this version. I'm still holding out for like Zohar. That's like the character I wanted. I've been wanting her since like I picked up this game a few years ago. So hopefully, if season 2 happens, I'll definitely like Zohar in the game. That's probably who I'll play. Unless they like introduce some crazy ass guest character, I wouldn't mind that too.
Hey, what's up, man? Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Snappy. I'm from NorCal, and I play UNI2.
So, what's your opinions on UNI2's newest patch 1.2?
I think 1.2 is a step in the right direction for most of the part, and some steps backwards with some decision making on the balancing. I think some buffs are definitely questionable, but I overall like how he acknowledges that some things are a little too strong and is trying to like change how risk reward is favored towards offense rather than defense.
I know some of the people mentioned that they really like the new system mechanic changes, like how guard thrust has more of a vertical hitbox, and everybody like VO guard thrust being counter hit state, and the dash shield change. So you fan of those?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Guard thrust to me always felt lackluster. It felt like with how strong VO used to be, I felt like I would rather VO at guaranteed points rather than guard thrust. So guard thrust being used for certain unfair character setups, like Carmine, it's really good, but at the same time, like, there's like some changes where I'm like, it feels obvious where he should change this. Like, did you know IWEX is still not counter hit state, but even though VO and Shield are?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found out because I blocked in IWEX and I did a counter hit only combo, and then it just didn't counter hit. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that's a change from 1.23, but we've been alluding to it. But I'm guessing that you're not happy about how some of the character changes in this patch, or?
Yeah, I think like Linne, for example, where her 5C mix-ups got nerfed. I think that was like a good change. Like he acknowledged it, and then some changes like Byakuya getting 2C rebeat pick up with 2B non-counted. I'm like, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I can see why he did it because he's trying to standardize like some changes, like how characters can autopilot their confirms because other characters can. But I feel like instead of giving more characters that option, they should take it away from more characters.
Yeah, I feel like Carmine is a little bit doubling down because like Carmine 2C 2A has been like one of the biggest war crimes this patch, but instead of like taking it away, he's like, as you said, he's giving it to more characters. And speaking of which, I know you're a Wagner player, and your rebeat data is also way better now. What's your take on Wagner with this patch?
I feel like she's more or less the same. The rebeat change makes her more impressive, only in like some characters with worse frame data than hers. Because back when it was 0, it's like pretty unfair. But at -2, it was like a good balance because you can take a risk by taking your turn. Even the 6 framers could. But at -1, it's like, oh, we're back to basically ST, where the 6 framers are in chaos versus Wagner, but the 5 framers are still like, this is still more manageable than it was in ST.
Yeah. Like speaking of the 6 framers, like Enkidu, you know, still down there. You think a lot of the UNI2 cast got power crept this patch, but you think those lower tiers should feel some of the love as well?
It's strange. Like at this point, if he keeps buffing characters, but like the rewards he's giving out aren't equal. Like some of the lower tiers, like you said, like Enkidu, for example, they're feeling a little sad about their changes. Like I'd say Enkidu got the short end of the stick compared to like Carmine. I feel like instead of overly buffing them, they should get like good quality of life changes, and the top tier should be nerfed instead.
Speaking of top tiers, I've been asking people who they have in their top 5. Who do you think those 5 are at the moment?
My top 5 for UNI2, I'd say Carmine. It's hard. High. Eltnam.
Yeah, it gets a little hairy after the top 3. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I still think. Okay, I'll still say Yuzu. I think she's still busted. I might see here. Hot take. I'll say Hilda. I think she's broken.
I don't think that after interviewing with a lot of people today, I don't think that's a hot take anymore. From what I've heard, like, I think the main example people have been like giving me is like Mawaru at AW2. Like he could show, like, he utilizes Roomba so well that he makes him seem like a top 5 character. Maybe he is. She is.
I mean, when the character literally has 50/50s, man. I don't know what more do you want in Under Night 2?
Or an Under Night period. Yeah. But closing thoughts, we touched on it a bit, but do you think you're happy the way with 1.2 is going and the general direction of the game?
I think like I'm pretty satisfied. I think UNI2's this patch is still pretty fun. I can still say like most of the time I'm like, oh, if I lose, I got outplayed. It was like fair games, except outside of a certain couple scenarios. But like, we'll see how he keeps going. I'm looking forward to like the new character. Hopefully, she's not a war crime DLC as the recent ones have been.
All right, what's up, my dude? Good evening. You mind introducing yourself?
Sure. I'm Atlas Omega. I'm one of the head CEOs over in Texas for Drop Well.
All right, so the main thing that I've gathered people today here for is to ask whether or not you like the UNI2 patch, this newest one, 1.2. So what are your feelings on it right now?
It's a good patch. Like I think it could be worse. There's definitely I might get extra buff with it. Mark got another buff 4B with Hitbox got bigger. You didn't need that either.
I mean, Merc got super juiced with the worms. So
yeah, and the worms. Right?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
There's a lot of things with this version where it's like the upper echelon of characters got way better, and everybody else kind of moved or didn't move at all. Besides, no one got nerfed, did it? I don't think so.
I don't think anybody or Kuan got nerfed.
Okay, Kuan needed that nerf though.
Yeah.
Kuan needed that nerf really badly. Other than that, no, it's a pretty decent patch. The top twos just didn't need to get buffed. That's the main thing. So they got juiced for no reason. And they didn't.
Yeah, but even still, you think we're in a better place compared to like vanilla or like 1.1?
Yes, yes. It's not even close. It's like it's like before, like even the patch we played Evo on, like that patch was so bad, basically especially because Yuzu had no punishing things with like 2FF at all. Like you just do it for free. Like yeah, it costs grid, but there's no recovery for whiffing it. So it's like I'm just gonna do it. Other characters are still pretty decent. So there was very much like there's a definitive top 5 and it's not even close. And then everybody else is like, if you're not playing this top 5, why are you kind of playing the game at all?
Yeah, Evo was on the vanilla patch, I believe, and like thinking on it, like in retrospect now, that was like not a great vanilla V2.
No, it wasn't. And like, and at Evo we saw like a really decent showcasing of how strong a lot of these characters were. We saw like Mo especially really like killing people with Kuon. Like in Sonara was wrecking everybody with Altman. So much so that he started wrecking people with Altman still at Arc World Tour.
Yeah.
And won that, and it just shows that especially Altman, like she's just very, very juiced up.
Yeah. You said before that previous versions of UNI2 had a more definitive top 5. Do you think there's still a definitive top 5 in this version of the game?
Yeah, I think the top 5 did change. I think it's still the same. Azuki moved up on the tier list.
Yeah.
That's about it. Like in terms of everything else, the top 5 stayed the same. It didn't really get too much of a power difference to like kill them. So yeah.
Yeah. So your generic top 5 is probably like Elnum, Carmine.
Elnum number 1.
Yeah.
Carmine number 2. Yuzu number 3. Hyde number 4, and they could be tied for their spot. And then number 5.
Yeah. It gets hard once you get to like 4 or 5.
It does get hard. I'll probably say
Lene.
Yeah.
So, for the people who don't know, you're also a Wagner player.
I am a Wagner.
How do you think she stacks up this patch? Because he got buffed. Her rebeats got buffed. That was the
Her rebeats got buffed. Her 5B rebeat is no longer -2, it's -1 again, which is very good. I'd probably say she stayed the same. It's kind of the only thing she got, and even then, most characters are still going to react to her rebeat and kill you for it. So it makes pressure against a certain subset of players a bit better, but for another subset, it doesn't really do it.
So yeah, for some characters, they're just like Wagner's in the same place she was like last patch.
Yeah. But she's still very good. Don't get me wrong. It's that she didn't get anything to really like warrant raving about her. Some of her routing changed a little bit, so we have a slightly higher damage. And especially in this version, you really need to edge out as much of that damage as you can, because you do not want to have some interactions with this character.
Absolutely. You know, characters in this game can like consistently like 2-touch, 3-touch you, and you want to tap into that.
Oh yeah. For sure. Like especially because meter gain is so like prevalent, and it's very easy to just get a bunch of meter. Yeah, getting 2-touch, especially when your character is on the low end of health. Yeah, getting 2-touch is like very common. Like, it sucks. It sucks a lot because it usually happens in like round 2s and shit. Yeah, it's just not fun. There's no interaction a lot of the time. It's mainly when you're fighting like Carmine or Yuzu or even Hyde. Hyde especially. Hyde will dump meter and kill you for 6k without even really like burning too much.
Yeah, it sucks because like those 2-touch characters are also the ones who have probably like the most snowball potential. Like obviously, like I said, Carmine, Hyde, Elna.
Talking about snowball potential. Seth is one of those characters where if you don't understand how teleports work properly, you will get smoked by it, and you have 4 rounds minimum to figure it, 3 rounds minimum to figure it out. And if you don't figure it out by that 3rd round, you're probably good. You have to quickly figure that out.
All right, so just some closing thoughts. Are you happy with the 1.2 uni patch?
I would say so. The game feels better. The game, I don't know what it is. I guess having some characters get moved in the tier list kind of helped. And Kuon getting knocked down just a little bit kind of helped too, and got rid of one of his defensive options. It's the same with 2-step defensive option. Autumn is still a rough character to deal with, but that's fine. Just wait. At least for my character, it's not the worst thing ever. Hyde is still Hyde, unfortunately. Bond is still not. Carmine is still Carmine. That matchup got harder. I will say that. That matchup definitely got harder, but at the same time, it's what it is. And then Kaguya got good stuff. So now she's a proper character, and Azuki too. Being able to see like Azuki's come up and like actually do things, and it gives everybody else the opportunity to really like practice against that character is nice. Because originally it's like it's a bad character, but it's like, oh, if you never learn anything, you're probably gonna do this. Interesting. The way that she plays is very different from everybody else. Now that she's good, it's like, ooh, after that.
We had a bunch of like the forefronts of Suzuki, like Inku and Zyma. Yeah, Zyma used like they were on Azuki pretty much since they got released. But now that she's like very, very viable, like a very good character now, we see like people like Defi picking her up like the competing tournaments like ENS, and like maybe we'll see them like at an offline tournament sometime.
I'm hoping to see Defi pull it out. More because did it at Arc Tour.
Oh yeah, no, I completely forgot.
So just seeing it evolve over the last like few weeks was sick. So yeah, I'm hoping to see more of it.
So just last thing, you'd like to show anything? Maybe a particular local?
Would I like to show something? Quick Draw Brawl is in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. We are the biggest anime monthly in the States. We've got Persona 4 Rated Ultimax, Grand Defense versus Rising, with Central Fiction, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, and our main game, Rev 2. Every third Saturday, hit up Quick Draw Brawl on Twitter and on YouTube. And hey, if you live in the area or even in Texas, hope you see this. Join this guy. He comes all the time. He's great. I love it.
That's all this guy's fault. At Atlas Omega _ I don't know.
Yeah, it's Atlas Omega _, not spelled ATLUS. It's ATLAS, like the Atlas book or the Atlas Greek god / Titan that holds up the world. That Atlas and Omega _.
Good evening, J2. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's J2. I'm a commentator for Grand Blue, UNI2, and Strive over on TNS.
Perfect. So the main thing I brought people to the main thing that I brought people here today for is like, what do you think of the 1.2 patch for UNI2?
I don't know. I like hear a lot about it from like other people's opinions. They're just like, oh, okay. Like I like that they're kind of like solidifying people's identities by like increasing their strengths without trying to like, you know, pad over their weaknesses in a lot of ways, which I think is like interesting to see. I think there are, you know, obviously some questionable changes to characters that are already quite strong, you know, and now have like even more utility. But overall, like, you know, I play Lene. I play like the Swiss Army knife character. Like nothing in particular has really changed for me. And 2A is better. 5cc is like a little bit less annoying by like 2 frames. You know, so I can say, oh, it's nerfed while still having it be like as annoying as possible. So for me, I'm still having a damn good time.
Yeah. And Rue touched on this a bit. Like he thinks Lene is top 5. You know, which is you're a commentator, which is a very unique perspective compared to all the other people I've interviewed. Because obviously, like compared to like somebody like him, you're not spending as much time playing the game. You're spending as much time. You're researching the interactions, but not necessarily like experiencing those interactions firsthand.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's interesting. I think Lene is mad good, but I think she kind of has like the Sin Guilty Gear Strive problem where it's like he's so good, but he in a lot of ways is like very basic. So I can imagine a lot of people just like piloting him and being like, oh wow, he's so strong. But I'm kind of bored playing him. I think I'm gonna play someone that like, you know, resonates with me or like has a more interesting gameplay loop. I imagine it's kind of the same with like people who pick up Lene. They're like, oh okay, I can see why she's so good. Like she's fast as fuck. She's like zooming across the screen in like 20 frames. But, you know, is she the one for me? If I'm going to be playing like hours and hours of this video game, do I want to just have like the Swiss Army knife character, or do I want something with like a little bit more soul? Me personally, I fuck heavy with the fast ass speed star, so I'm chilling.
So, like you said before, like a lot of like the strength of characters in this game are a little homogenous. So So was there anything else to Lene that brought you to her besides like her being like the speed star? Because you know people in this game are going fast. They buff dash acceleration.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of characters have gotten faster. Lene's a girl, and I don't play men in fighting games, so I feel like that's like a big Yeah, that's like a big selection criteria already. But I try not to play. I was gonna say I try not to play Gunnar characters, but I play Eno and Strive, so maybe I've like lost those allegations. I'm trying to think like what are other Strike Though characters in Uni that I've like considered.
Like, how much of the cast have you tried? Like, did you just like see Lene? It was like love at first sight, or was like after like a little bit of deliberation, Lene's good for me.
I think when I started Uni, I think a little bit like with friends at the end of clear. It's like me and Shino from Ottawa scene. We were like, oh yeah, like Uni is cool, but we're still like pretty beginners, so we'll play with each other so that there's no pressure of being like, oh man, I'm so ass with people who have been playing the game for like quite some time. Well, obviously, like we're a little far, even though I'm East Coast, he's Ottawa. It's not too far, but like in delay, we were just randomly like in like huge jumps. So I was trying out Lene because I heard that she was like a very simple character to pilot. I was like, you know what? To learn the systems, I think this makes sense. And I was like, wait, I gotta like. Sorry, someone just like screaming.
People are yelling, bro.
There's like a hardcore show going on, a little bit down the street at the same time. In
Yeah,
Slashback,
like we
which is
can kind of hear the bass from here. I don't know if the
Yeah,
camera can. Yeah,
It's kind of pumping. You guys probably can't hear it through the microphone. But I picked Lene because she was simple, and I thought, okay, this is like an easy way to try and like learn the game. But especially bouncing between trying to keep up with Strive stuff, trying to learn Grand Blue as well, and then also trying to dive in with Uni. It's like balancing, actual hours in the game and like studying footage and like keeping up with all these like different events and tournaments as well. That I'm like, oh, I should, and I would like to try out the rest of the cast. I think to kind of round out my experience, like talking with other commentators as well. It's like you can tell like in your own work and other people's work as well when they are describing an interaction or like a matchup from experience. They're like, oh yeah, this matchup fucking sucks because like it's just Dashbox Simulator, and I'm just like, yes, I kill you if I get it, but it like feels terrible every single time. Versus, for example, I've been guilty of this too, kind of being like a Dust Loop or Mizumi commentator, where it's like, oh yeah, on paper this matchup is a little bit difficult to get in, even though you have the tools to open them up, like
yeah,
it's very different. I think I would like to play a little bit more of the cast, but I think it's daunting for someone who's kind of like new to the series as well, where it's like, oh man, I'm still working on my primary. Like, when would I have time to play like a secondary and learn it as well, right? But I think with more and more people getting into the game, with like new patches and new characters coming out, especially like, there's still like an influx or like a steady income of like new players coming into Uni and considering trying it out. Even trying to get my own friends into it as well, where they're just like, oh, I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. And I'm just like, bro, like I need an excuse to play something that's not my main and just like round out my experience in the cast. Like I am down to just like run a bunch of casts. So I haven't gotten to play most of the cast, honestly, but I really would like to.
Yeah. And like you said before, like you're not just a UNI2 commentator, you're a Grand Blue Rising commentator,
Yes.
you're a Strive commentator, and you're an Idol Showdown commentator.
That's true. That's true.
All of which have had like meta-defining updates like really, really recently. Like Grand Blue had season 2,
Yeah.
Strive had season 4, and
Yeah.
Idol Showdown had FES.
Yeah, they had Next Fest, like a big version of it.
So yeah, between all these like modern fighting games having like these pretty big updates, like it's understandable that like even just like playing your main in Under Night 2 is a lot. So how do you keep up?
It's hard. I think for a long time I wanted to be kind of like analysis on commentary, and I still want to like lean and like learn more about that. But I think realizing that a lot of my strengths are like, okay, how can I kind of explain this interaction or dynamic in like a way that's easy to understand? Because ultimately there's like a lot of intricacies in the matchup dynamics or like specific interactions that I just haven't seen with my own eyes, right? Or haven't had a chance for someone to like explain to me. So I'm kind of like setting the groundwork essentially, especially if I know I'm working with someone who's been in that specific scene for some time or like is really knowledgeable about like certain characters. I'm kind of there like on the commentary role as like, okay, let me post smoothly. Let me have like good play-by-play to keep the energy up, and then like also provide opportunities for my co-commentators who might be a little bit more knowledgeable or might know a little bit more about the matchup that's happening on screen. Give them the opportunity to kind of dig a little bit deeper, right? And then I'm trying to be a good complement essentially to what they're bringing to the table in terms of competition.
I find it really commendable that like I feel like you play the role as like kind of like a general like artist commentator, but you have your ear really close to the ground.
Yeah.
Like you're pretty familiar with like you interact with the UNI2 scene a lot of the time, the Granblue community.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just surprised that like, do you have any other like, do you have anything else that you work on? Because like this like, the FGC commentary is a lot, especially if you're doing three games. Do you work on anything else in your spare time?
What do I like to do? So it's you know, I think if I were just doing FGC commentary, it might be like a little bit easier because it's like, oh, okay, as you learn one game, you kind of learn these fundamentals, right? That in certain ways transfer over to other games. So it's like once you learn a game, you can compare and contrast once you know one really well. But on top of, you know, I work a 9-to-5 like office job, you know, 5 days a week. I like try and go to the gym and like see homies and like hang out outside of, you know, FGC stuff, like just keeping up with, you know, high school friends, college friends as well, and you know, just like get outside of the house and, you know, get some fresh air too, which on paper maybe is not a lot, but especially when it's like, oh, I just got back from work. I have a few hours to figure out what to do with my evening. Do I want to hang out with friends? Do I want to like go to the gym, make dinner, and then sleep? Or okay, do I want to boot up, net play a little bit? Do I want to like review VODs? And then, you know, if I choose to do fighting game stuff, then there's like so many other branches too. Do I want to review my own VODs? Do I want to watch a tournament? You know, there's so much to kind of like dive into. But at the same time, I think balancing multiple games and balancing like multiple hobbies is also nice because when something gets like a little bit stale or like, oh, okay, I've been like staring at uni footage, or I've been grinding Granblue ranked, or I've been playing a bunch of Strive, you know, when those things kind of get stale, it's nice to just like refresh your brain on something else that also kind of has that intrinsic interest. Like, oh, okay, let me like go to the gym and just like clear my mind a little bit. Let me like make dinner or like hang out with friends. That kind of rejuvenates you to do, you know, those things that you kind of burned down on already.
All right, one final question for you.
Yeah.
Actually, two, because it was like a little bit of an intrusive thought. So obviously, if anybody's familiar with your Twitter, you're a fan of Uma Musume.
Yeah, that's true.
These horse girls run fast.
They do.
Is there like a one-to-one relationship with Lene? She has the fastest dash speed in the game, and like, you know, the Uma Musume are like.
Wait, you're right. I do play the fastest character in UNI2, and now I rock with Uma Musume, which is just like anime horse girls like running and trying to like fight for their lives to make a name for themselves. I think that there's got to be some correlation there, right? That I'm just like not realizing. I also didn't realize like how much like FGC and like Uma overlap there was until I like started the series and then started tweeting about it, and then it was like Trip and Ricer and Warp. They were like, "Dude, you're in Uma." I was like, I didn't realize you guys were like fans of the series like that. They're like, yeah, we're a little normal about it, you know. Anyways, you know, they like have the real life horse results just like ready up the top of their head, and I ended up being the same as that. Just like, all right, maybe this horse girl shit goes kind of crazy.
Yeah, like Ankle Gator up on a stream matches, you know, it was holding up like the Cinderella Gray.
It was like the Ogre cap like printout, yeah.
Yeah, watch. There's gonna be for people out of the loop. There is tomorrow, Sunday. There's gonna be a Cinderella Gray episode 2 live viewing at the Marriott.
Yeah,
I'll expect you to be there. I might be there.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like everybody's trying to figure out like where we're gonna watch it. We were thinking about doing it in the venue, but signal might be a little spotty. Maybe we'll split up and like watch them on our own and then talk about it later. But there's quite a few, you know, horse girl anime enjoyers over in the FBC. I was quite surprised.
Yeah. So topping it off, I guess like what's your opinion on Cinderella Gray? Is it the next Ping Pong the animation?
Ooh, is it the next Ping Pong the animation? I think Ping Pong is like it's like an S+2 like sports anime. That being said, I think Cinderella Gray, also outside of like, oh, it's like the funny horse girls, they like do dances, they sing and whatever. I think it is such a good sports anime, like in and of itself. Like Ogre Cap is such a likable character. Like a lot of it's like hometown, you know, Cinderella story can be very relatable in a lot of ways, and even like the folks that she ends up competing with end up being so strong in their own like specific way, and the way that they like approach competition is so unique and so different, and seeing the ways that those like characters kind of like falter and where their strengths kind of line up with the type of race that's like going on. I can't go into it without explaining, and then also making the video like 20 minutes long. You guys should know it's streaming right now. I think mostly for America. You guys can check it out on YouTube and Prime Video as well. It's got my vouch. I think Cinderella Gray is going to be, at least for folks, you know, just tuning in, even if they haven't watched any Uma Musume, I think it'd be a solid 8 on your roster. But for me, it's a 10 out of 10.
So what's up? Good evening. You mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Ash. I'm that one guy from Canada who isn't from Vancouver.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought I just basically assumed all the red names were Vancouver at this point.
It's basically there's me and there's IDC, and I'm pretty sure every other red name is in Vancouver.
Yeah, because I guess I haven't seen you at like VSP at all, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I've come here to ask you about your feelings about the 1.2 patch. How are you feeling about this version?
Okay, well, the 1.2 patch, so I play 3 characters right now.
Yeah.
I play Wagner, I play Kuon, and I play Batista.
Fucked up.
So, Kuon, the 1.2 patch, they made my low a little slower. It doesn't matter, because I do Alberta Kuon mix. And nobody blocks Alberta Kuon mix, so it's fine.
Vertical Kuon mix?
Alberta Kuon.
Oh, Alberta Kuon.
From where I'm from.
Holy fuck. And like nobody's from where
yeah.
It's on IDC, so you might be crypto advanced in, but you know, it's provider or something.
Yeah, so Kuon's fine. They removed all the idiot options, so all the idiots are mad. But I'm not an idiot, so I'm chilling. Wagner, she didn't really get any meaningful changes, so it doesn't really matter. And then, bro, I don't know what they did with this Batista champion, but I get infinite damage on everything. I get projectile deletion. I mean, I think this patch is pretty cool. There's like only 2 characters that are maybe kind of bad in like NQ2 and Chaos. Everybody else is pretty good. I don't know. I feel like this is a good patch.
Yeah. So outside of the characters, what do you think the system mechanics has changed? Like guard thrust, vertical hitbox got increased. You can dash and shield now, etc.
Yeah.
Like some of the reversals being in counter hit state, like VO and the guard thrust. What do you think of that?
So I think the reversals being counter hit state is just a nice normalized thing where you just have a reversal punish now. Which I think it's just a nice quality of life change, so that's awesome. I get my good Wagner combo on VO now, so that's hype. I mean, for the other system changes, like guard thrust being a better defensive mechanic is probably a net good for the game. Because like even characters that are like kind of susceptible to guard thrust in moments, like I think of Carmine. I played 2 games this weekend. I guard thrusted on assault on reaction to assault the first time, and then the second time he did the jump assault dive kick bait to kill guard thrust. So it's like there's still layers that happen. I know it's fucked up. It is fucked up. I think dash shield is kind of whatever. I mean, most characters had a good enough dash block that, sure, maybe you gain a little bit of grid, but I don't really think it's that meaningful.
Yeah. So, outside of that, people's opinions on the top 5 have been varied. Some got moved down, like Kuon and Lon, and some moved up, like Carmine and Elk kind of was already in there. But like, what do you think? What are your opinions on like the top 5 of this patch?
Okay, so I think my top 5 is Eltnum, Carmine. See, now there's a problem because there's like 10 characters who can fully enter 3 slots.
Exactly. Like I've had this conversation with everybody. So who do you think round those out?
I think probably the character that has the most consistent options and the easiest to execute game plan. I've been hating this character since 2017, since ST's English release. I think Linne's up there. I think Linne's up there. I think the game plan is just too consistent. Yes, the 5C, 2C mix-up got removed. But I mean, I think that was kind of stupid.
Should have been gone in the first place.
It really should have been. It should have been there in the first place. I think that's fine. Honestly, I think Vaughn is still good. I think Vaughn has the tools to succeed, and like they removed his idiot option too. Where now, Ice Rain, you don't really use it that much because it wasn't a tool that you needed.
Yeah, it only really works on free state now.
Yeah, and if you already have freeze on them, then it's a win harder option. So I think he's still really good. I think these Kuon players are going to tell you that this character is bad, and I think they're en route to Afghanistan. And I think we need to put them in prison because this Kuon champion is someone who still plays him is still busted. There's a little more counterplay, but when there's counterplay, that means I can outplay you as a human.
I mean, you definitely still have Blake in it because we saw the Kuon on stream. I forget against who exactly.
I played against Jade on stream.
Jade. Yeah, Jade had a really good run this week.
Yeah, she was cooking. I got cooked. Go watch the VOD.
Go watch the VOD. Yeah. Did you set it against 2Gig be on stream?
My set against 2Gig was not on stream. It was very close, and it was really just on me, like not rising the moment when I needed to. There was like 2 interactions where I needed to go like 2 steps further than I did, and that's fine. I'm from a random part of Canada. I come to one event a year, and it's this one. Which, if there's one event a year that you're going to come to, we're in front of the Guild House in San Jose, California right now. This is the only place it's worth being in.
Absolutely. So just closing it out, are you happy with the direction of the 1.2 patch?
I think overall I am very happy. I think everything that I am not a super big fan of has existed since the release of UNI2. Like, I think the 5AD Smart Ender is a net negative for the game because it just increases everyone's damage threshold by like 400 to 600 damage. this Waldstein guy just gets to end his combo in a good knockdown that leaves you in command throw range, and he gets a half block of grip from it. This non-SA champion, bro, like, I think Smart Ender is like a net bad thing for the game. Like, I play like my character does 1 billion damage now because of Smart Ender. Like, I'm abusing that shit too. I'm gonna be real, but I think everything else, it's been there since release. It's not that bad. I do like how more aggressive oriented the game can be, but at the same time, like, I'll play against people. I'm still going to 15 10-second rounds like reasonably often. Like, if you want to play a slower paced game and really create those moments of tension and capitalize on them, the game still lets you do that, and that's really what Unity has been to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you have anything else to show or shout out?
Do I have anything else to shout out? Shout out to Twang.
Oh, shit.
Who I met this weekend, and now he's talking to me right now. So
Let's
shout out
go.
to Twang for doing this interview series. That's awesome. Shout out to Fieldhouse. Shout out to Brett. Everyone who works at Slashback. I said it before, I'll say it again. If there's one event you want to come to, it should be this one.
Yo,
This is the only event I travel to.
This backdrop is crazy. Like, I kind of wish I did all these in one. Because like everybody's going. It's like this inside too. There's like 2 times more people inside, and they're all drinking.
Yeah. You just gotta cut in like random B-roll of the people inside.
Yeah.
All
All right, just keep the mic close to your mouth.
Close to my mouth? Okay.
Okay, this is about to be a disaster.
I drank way too fast. Oh, God. My heart hurts, bro.
We don't need an introduction.
Am I dying?
The mic.
Put the mic in your mouth.
Oh, shit. Okay. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I'm at that age. Okay. What's up, Twang?
You already gave like the people on stage like heart attacks 30 times over, bro.
Okay.
All right, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Smiles. I'm 35.
Mic like this, dumb motherfucker.
Oh, shit. And I've been playing this game for 10 years. I think this is my best result.
Oh shit! Congratulations.
He's holding his head.
It hurts so bad. I think I'm dying.
All right.
Oh, fuck. Thank you, Samika.
So, let's.
It hurts so bad, man. Okay, tell your question.
All right, 1.2 patch. What's your thoughts on it?
We're on 1.2.
Fuck, man.
Ow. I might die in like 30 seconds. You gotta hurry up.
I asked you, what do you, wait, oh, you, fuck. You happy with the game?
Yeah, it's fun.
Of course you won, bro.
What
Of course.
Everyone's complaining, but it's like, who cares?
That's what I want to hear. Who fucking cares?
Everyone loses to chain shift, man. Holy shit. You bait chain shift and you do a 50-50 and you win. Oh, fuck.
All right, anything else you want to say? Let's get you to bed, Obe. OG Saba.
How are people losing to me? I can't block an overhead. I can't block an overhead, man.
I lost him because he's fucking goated, baby. Goated.
Yeah.
He's the goat, dude.
Fucking Silent got perfected by Merkava. What kind of world are we living in? He beat me next time, but like, I played that matchup twice against that guy. Ow!
Right.
I need one more drink. Oh,
I don't think you need one more.
No, I'm fine. Trust me, I'm fine. My eyes are watering, but it's fine. Okay, ask me another question.
You want another question? I thought you were done.
No, I can't. I'm running out of breath, but
All right.
it's fine.
Do some quick shout outs.
Quick shout out? Okay. Pesto helped a lot with my nerves. I've been working on my nerves forever because I played like a little bitch in bracket for like 5 years. Now I just throw people. And frame trap. Well, I don't frame trap them that much because they just get thrown. Okay, I'm fine, I think. Thanks for coming from Texas.
Alright, thank you for... No, actually, fuck you.
Please, you can post this on YouTube.
You can't, what?
You can.
Oh.
I'm giving you consent.
Oh, you have to tag him. You have to take his YouTube.
Don't, you tag my YouTube.
You have to take his YouTube.
There's fucking sweat in my eyes. Dude, my mom is so racist. Every time I smile, she's like, open your eyes, Eric. And I'm like, my eyes are fucking open. Are you fucking serious?
that was the last question.
That was the last
That was the
question.
last question.
Okay. You're a cool guy.
Thanks, bro. You too.
Thanks for documenting a lot of uni.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow and see this.
Oh fuck. It's okay. It's okay. Shout out to Pesto, Tom, maybe one of them. But like, I used to get so nervous, and now I'm just like, fuck. I guess that hit. Thank you, Trey.
The answer was alcohol at the bar before pools.
Before pools? No. Fucking Rurik bought me this drink that he won't tell me the fucking name of, and now I'm falling over. And my heart hurts. I want a social cocktail.
What's up, my dude? You mind introducing yourself?
Yes, I'm Della. I play Nanase. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah. Oh, I made that Danielson bot. If you're playing that, I made that.
This guy got so many drinks tonight or this weekend because of that.
That's very true.
That's good.
At least 4.
4? I feel it'd be a lot more. I'm like,
I mean, I was holding myself back. Fair.
Fan of the soju cocktails?
They're good. You know, I'm a local here, so I do get them quite often.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You're a Guild House regular.
I am.
I see you at the local. But yeah. So anyways, I've been asking people about their opinions on the 1.2 patch. What are your thoughts on it so far?
You know, I think it's mostly good, except for a couple of characters. You know, and just like the general like UNI2 grievances with the damage being so high.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, obviously Carmine. That's pretty much like my biggest reason for not liking the patch. He's pretty strong, you know.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
All right. So routing out the other characters besides Carmine, like who are like the other 4 down there, or the 4 part of the top 5?
Okay, I would say.
Okay.
It's kind of hard. Okay, Carmine. Yuzuriha is still up there. Maybe not top 2. Okay, Elno above Yuzuriha. Okay. So I got Carm, El, Yuzu, and then Hai. I still think Hai's good as fuck. That nerf dispatch did nothing.
Oh, what's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
What's up?
What's good?
All right.
And then.
What are your thoughts on Other Night?
On what?
What are your thoughts on Other Night?
He doesn't know what that is, man.
Oh fuck! I thought he. No.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Wait.
No, I might have a thought.
Nah, you don't know about it.
All right.
There's that event over there.
Part of that guy?
No, I'm not a part of
Exactly,
that shit.
bro.
I wanted to go in there.
Okay,
they were in there fighting.
We were fighting.
So I was watching. So when I pulled up, right? I'm a filmographer. So I'm a filmographer. Me and my classmate, we came here to work on our scripts. My name is Brian Schutz, but I was trying to find a place where I could write my scripts, and I was looking in there, and I was like, they're doing fucking video games, fighting games, and I want to go in there, but I didn't go in. But like, I think it's awesome. I think you guys are all cool, and I think you guys are dope, and I want to be a part of the fucking journey.
Let's go. Shout out to Brian, bro.
Let's go.
Where were we? Top 5?
Oh yeah.
So Carmine, Eldom, Yuzu, I,
and Lon. Let's put Lon for number
let's go
5.
Lon.
Yeah.
All right. So you play Nanase.
I do.
What are your thoughts on her right now in the setting?
Okay, I think she is pretty mediocre. There's quite a lot of characters that do the same thing she does but better. So there's honestly no reason to pick her in this match. So that's my thoughts. One more?
That might be enough.
Come on, that's true.
Dude.
What okay. Why would you pick like Nanase over Lon? Exactly.
Yeah, I've had enough. I've been fried because, dude, Ankle Gator was here telling me how Batista's bottom 1, bro.
Dude, he's smoking.
I just have to
he's smoking on some shit.
Y'all are smoking, bro.
What do you mean? What does my character do?
Smart, like 2-4.
That move sucks. Just do the counterplay.
Yeah, just do the counterplay to Carmine, bro. Just like VO in every single block.
Okay, 2-4 is way more reasonable to deal with than fucking Carm Bomb. Okay, let's be real here.
Nah, I've been getting. Everybody explodes on B Fireball, bro.
They don't. Everybody just fucking jumps or rolls or just like.
That's what the 2-4 is born for, bro.
No, bro.
Yes, bro.
No.
Yes.
They don't get it.
I'm gonna go insane if we talk about Nanase anymore.
I'm the highest placing Nanase at this event. Who are you gonna trust?
True, I guess. That he got me, bro.
It's the facts.
It's the facts. But outside of not a safe, but let me get away from her. So, are you happy with the direction of the 1.2 patch? Because we kind of like meaningful system mechanic changes.
Yeah, I mean the grid thrust changes are pretty good. Outside of that, like I'm not too sure what system mechanics really change. I know roll is supposedly easier to punish, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a change.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so bad at punishing it. It doesn't feel like anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much. Do you have anything you want to show?
No, not really. Yeah.
Use his Addison bot.
You can if you want to. You can. Don't report bugs to me.
It's like it's end of life.
It's end of life.
End of life.
It really is.
If you put it on an AWS for instance, it's gonna get it's auto snap instantly, bro.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? We're clearly not at Guild House anymore. It's kind of homeless hours now because it's Monday. Me and Tom are wandering the streets because.
Well, we're really wandering the street between the Marriott and the Westin.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we're too scared to explore the rest of San Jose.
True scary. But anyways, you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah. So, hi, I'm Tom, aka Captain Tom Sugar now. Formerly just Captain Sugar, but I was informed that name was really weird, so I've updated it.
Yeah. Formerly
modern times.
It's like formerly Psycho Gundam Tom Sugar or Captain Sugar.
Psycho Gundam is the clan tag actually.
Yeah.
Also has briefly hosted Psycho Gundam Papa Pesto. True. I believe. So shout out to Pesto. I have not seen that guy in years. I always miss him when I come here too.
Dude, he's like such a cool yapper to be around. I like
playing games with him, not because of the game, but because we just chat the whole time.
Dude, yeah. I think he was the person who got me started to start talking to people and just playing people. Yeah.
He's extroverted, sort of sociableness rubbed off on you.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's so much fun to yap.
He's very he does a lot of gestures as well.
Yeah.
When he plays the game, he's like, oh, it's great.
Dude, there's I think it was Frosty's, but there's an insane picture of him at Frosty's just with his eyes bulging out.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Damn, it's like the Brandon picture.
But yeah, super off topic. But what are your opinions on the 1.2 patch?
Oh, we're diving straight into the deep end, are we?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like each patch to the game sort of improves some things, but has damaged others. I honestly have trouble remembering all the details right now of the 1.2 patch. So speaking to my own character, I think the changes make perfect sense. It's fine for her to be faster. It's good that she doesn't have pretty much an auto dial 5C 2C option. But other aspects of this patch, so I believe this is the patch. I think this has come up every time, but this is the patch where Comic got left, right?
Yeah, this is the patch where FF got it launches up waiterlessly.
Yeah. So I mean, I think also this is a buff where the people who already had the characters that already had large buttons got those buttons made bigger. They basically took everything every character had, it feels like, and just made it a little bit better. But I think this has had some really big ramifications for the way the game plays out. On the plus sides, I definitely think the new characters, Kaguya Kuon and Uzuki, all got good tunes, good tuning. So Kaguya functions as a character now. I think it's good that her buttons are bigger. Her Oki, I think, was always kind of there. I don't know if that actually changed a lot, but it feels very sort of real at the moment. She just seems like she's very functional now. Uzuki, I believe before, was just borderline sort of unplayable, but she's been restored to some kind of fighting order.
Yeah, items are a lot more prevalent in her game now.
Yeah. Still, Coffin, I think, is kind of a main option, which is kind of strange. But it was explained to me that you're not meant to use it you can't just go into it for free. You always gotta have a good way to set it up. Otherwise, you're just gonna get taken out by JA, or you're doing some kind of 50-50 dodge mix.
Yeah.
Which might not even net you a punch, so it's not really worth it. And Kumon, I think the changes make a lot of sense. I think it's really good that his fight isn't just a almost free sort of fight. It's just it's less nerve-wracking playing against these characters who exercise such control against you at any point in the screen. But then when they're next to you, you're sweating even harder, just trying to stay alive. I feel like that's not what you want a game like Uni to be. Like, you don't want people going into like high reward options that are also like forcing you to sweat. Like, you want to be able to just take a low damage hit here and there in this game because you're playing passively. And a character like Tuan sort of invalidates that, and Carmine currently invalidates that, and other characters in the past have sort of done similar things. Now at least, like, I mean, even with like other characters options, like, you know, all the TK options people get now that are much better in the current parameter, you still have to kind of like participate to take the big hit. You can, so like, I think a good example right now is actually Batista's TK force function. So if she has Vorpal, when she deals with that, she does like 5k easy. It's like bonkers, but you still have to like play. Now, the fact that Batista could also just be drill is like also impressive. So maybe she's not a great example.
So, yeah, it's another conversation, but yeah, we saw a lot of that JFF from Suika throughout Slashback, and like we saw he dropped it, but like, he almost got like a 5-point combo off of it for, it was like FF into CVO, something like that.
No, I don't know why. Like, usually CVO scales damage down a lot, but it seems that in that combo, like, Batista's able to just like keep going and really crank out the damage. So that character is like hella dangerous, and not many people actually take her to sort of that level. Big shout outs to Gator, by the way. Really epic set. It's really showing the power of that character in his game versus Silent.
And so, and even with all that power, he still fumbled it at the very end, unfortunately.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I mean, specific patches aside, I think I still have the same sort of like things I like and things I don't like about this version that have been basically there since the first patch in some form or another. And although they're tweaking the numbers now, and I think over time the game will get better, I don't think some of the fundamental changes are going away. And I'm basically speaking to the extraordinarily high meter gain that's present in the game right now, along with the prevalence of very strong neutral skip buttons or very strong like pressure extender buttons. And you know, there are very obvious examples that I think we could discuss. The one that springs to mind for me instantly is like Phonon's install. I think that is I think it's incredibly strong to have like this sort of like backup chain shift in your pocket that not only allows you to, you know, wield full screen pressure or like mid screen pressure with her 622B, but also then forces her opponent to sort of continue respecting her for as long as the install lasts, because like she gets additional confirms there, she gets additional like plus frames with fireballs. This is very difficult to like think of like what is a good option? Where is your sort of risk reward at? You just have to play this like defensive game so that you build up your meter and you get your turn to run your silly thing. And I think that should be toned down a bit so that like it's strange actually that aspect of the game was like heightened through the character design and buffs, whereas the damage off spending X to attack someone is like lower than it used to be. Linnae X Cougar used to be like 700 damage in the previous version. It was the glue that kept that character together. That's sort of gone now. It's like often optimal to not spend it at all because it's not going to contribute to your hit count to kill the opponent. Instead, you use it as a neutral skip tool, right? I don't know, like it feels very silly sometimes. You're just like playing a kind of like gunslinger game where you're waiting to see who like twitches first, and then you smash your X move. And if you're wrong, they smash their X reversal. Yeah. So I think this is it makes the neutral game, I think, very like polarizing. And then you combine that with the fact that like losing neutral is more dangerous in this game than it used to be, because you cannot one defense like easily avoid taking multiple hits against many members of the cast.
Yeah, so like you said before, like people are just kind of like slamming their EX move into each other, and like the more meter gain is one of like the huge defining factors of UNI2, and along with like some system changes from Clear to UNI2, we this patch we also got a bunch of like reversals being counter hit state right now, like VO and guard thrust, and some other changes like dash shield being a thing now, and guard thrust vertical hitbox being a lot taller now. What do you think of the just diverting away from the characters? What do you think of the general mechanic changes this patch?
I mean, like I discussed meta gain already. I don't mind. I mean, I think it's good that guard thrust is a little better, because I think you should have to hard bait that to avoid it. So I'm pumped up there. Definitely VO being getting it counter property is like a long overdue change. Like very strange that that button did not behave properly. Or was not sort of like the risk that it should have been, because at the end of the day it's a reversal that puts you into like super mode. I think the timer burns out more quickly now, so there's like a kind of like less reward to VO than there used to be.
It was actually last patch, but if you wake up with VEO, like half of it is gone.
Yeah. You get like less. It's harder to spend. Like you don't usually get, unless you're in Orange Life, you don't get like multiple X moves off your VO these days. So yeah, that's definitely a change. Off CVO, off like regular VO is fine, I think. What other system changes can we discuss? I think the grid changes are a little mysterious. Like you get like a lot of grid sort of moving forward now. I feel like you get less grid in circumstances where you used to get more.
One big grid change was like grid not you don't lose grid while like you're doing a combo anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's definitely a rich get rich moment. So because like other characters are very long combos anyway. So if they're hitting grid, then they do a combo that carries you for like half the timer speed, and that's like that can be a big advantage or disadvantage. Like if your run has like 5 blocks, then you're never going to catch up. But that's not usually the case. So landing your hit like just makes it very hard to contest the grid on the next like couple of interactions.
Yeah, I feel like the combo, like I like the general shift of that, but it felt like the way they applied that change was kind of like Darkwood-ish. Like Byakuya, like stealing grid, Web stealing grid and Brock was like obviously like that needed to go, but like
there were some problems in the previous implementation around objects specifically. Yeah, I agree with that.
But at the same time, like Elnum keeping her like one grid on like perfect
very
reload.
Indecisive, right? Like,
yeah.
Like if perfect reload was like a 1 frame dust frame, then sure, but then it would be useless. Like it'd be too hard to let the character down. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a strange change, and yeah, the fact that you get grid, just like running at your opponent favors some characters more than others. I think like in the previous versions, like generally speaking, if you had bigger normals and you had a harder time, if you had a good time keeping your opponent out, you're paying for that with grid. I mean, I don't know how true that sort of still is in this version, but yeah, I don't know. Often I feel like I'm kind of like hoping to win the grid through like a shield or like a good throw tech, and that's pretty much about it.
Gotcha. So we talked about how the newer characters kind of got some love this patch, but like they're shifting over a little bit again.
Yeah.
What do you think the top 5 of the top 5 characters of this patch are?
I mean, I definitely think Carmine and Eltman are the top 2, for sure. And then it starts to get like really funny. So I think like there's like a whole bunch of characters like within like the next like 3 rides. So I'd probably like the top 5 area. So let me think. Let me like look at the list. I need like the mental mnemonic here, so I can pick characters down. Okay. I think I have to say that Batista looks incredibly strong right now. She's just so like strong at. I mean, she has the ability to like deploy, so like instantaneous mix-ups. The second you're engaged with her, she's got like a footsies game that was not present in the previous version, thanks to the 5cc buff and also like to a lesser extent 2BV, which was always in the game. And then she does like a lot of damage on her successful like offensive maneuvers. And of course she's still got B drill. She's got the sort of like lesser known A drill as well, which is plus unless you shield it correctly. And it's like really fast. It's actually very hard to shield that move unless you're sitting there and you manage to shield them in reaction to blocking like 2 hits. But the drills also give her this like strong air-to-air game as well. So I find like a Batista who's able to use those to shut down your attempts to maneuver in the sky and like force you to stay on the floor is like quite difficult to play around. So I think that character has like a ton of potential, and like yeah, it's good that you can be counting her now, but that's sort of like not enough. Other characters who I think are strong, I mean, Hyde is still definitely extremely strong. Like, he got nerfed a little bit in the previous patch, but he's still got like very dominating round options. He's still got combos that like a chimp can do. He does a lot of damage. His corner pressure is great. He's got like the corner back throw. Orbiter gives him like, and again in some matchups, Orbiter just like shuts the entire other character's gameplay down. Whether it's as a neutral tool or as a like spaced pressure reset tool.
Or like just a neutral skip with Benson.
Yeah. Pogo's a great TK to crush things, and it's like unless you're like super on point to like, you can punish it, but it's difficult to actually do in games because you have to be super ready for him to do it and then input it correctly. And it's hard to do it when he could also like vary his height and like mess up your timing. I think Linnea is actually quite strong in this version. Like, it's hard for me to say. Like, I think her weakness is in dealing with characters that can like run spaced pressure for a really long time. So characters like Phonon, characters like Carmine, Drekia, Nanase in particular, I think is a really bad matchup for Linnea. But I think against most of the cast, like, she's just so fast that sort of no matter what you're doing, she can like be in your face, and she has just like incredibly strong like close-up buttons. She's just lacking like a killer like mix-based game. You're still playing like a basic strike throw game. They took out the funny 5C2C, so it's a little awkward. I have to make up my mind on one of the characters. So like I could make a case for like Nanase being really strong. I could make a case for Seth being really strong, or Tsurugi. But I don't feel like I have enough experience in those matchups or playing those characters to really say. But I do think there's really broad consensus at the moment on Carmine and Elton being two of the best characters in the game. Carmine, I think, is very obvious why he's strong. Like, neutral that's very difficult to contest, and then when you lose it, you're like in the fridge. And Eldman is really strong because she has every like fundamental tool. Her pressure is based on just having like plus range and whatnot. That's also very strong, and her damage is high. Her TK, like her ability to crush throw is really strong as well, thanks to TK, which can be then like made super safe. All in all, like two very powerful competitors. Yeah.
So just wrapping it up, are you happy with the direction of the 1.2 patch?
I don't know. Like, I feel a little frustrated by it because I think they definitely watched like the buffs of Superior to Nerfs video at some point. Because even though some characters did get some, I think, very well-deserved nerfs, the choice to buff like other things at the same time is just, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And I feel like it makes like, I think when you're doing things like making every hit like either confirm or just like making big things even bigger, you're kind of like boxing yourself in, because these might be quite hard to undo as well. But how do you buff other characters to like compensate it with it? Do you make Linnea even faster so she can like? I don't think it would matter at this point. So yeah, I would like to see them show a little more strength in terms of like just adding more shit to characters. I think one of the things that holds back this kind of development, and I don't have a solution, there's like undeniable constraints, is that they seem to have to release like very large patches. They can't just like tweak a thing here or there. There's no like beta build or anything where like a select group or like anyone can sort of try out the changes before they become unreal. Game development's very hard. It's very hard, especially when everyone's got an opinion. And as a developer, like, who do you listen to? You've only got so much time to play your own game. But I do think they need to like. I think the game's pace should be like changed a bit, so that meter gain is down a bit. People aren't like compelled to use these gigantic options all the time, or those options are made riskier in some way. I think that would be healthy. I also think they should speed out the timer again, but I think a faster timer would be good in this game. It's strange, isn't it, that the natural like rhythm of the game is more offense oriented. You just get him more and throw more than you used to. Right? But they made the timer longer. So there's no chance. Like the timeout games used to happen all the time in Uni Clear and Unis, right? Here, like never, like very rare.
I feel like it can happen, but like the two players have to like kind of be on the same wavelength to like have a timeout happen. Yeah, which is really rare considering like
someone can like whoever's losing has to do something. So eventually they're gonna like, do something, right?
It's like really like good to like do a lot like it's really like beneficial for players just to be like tempo changing all the time in this game. So like kind of playing it really slow and just evaluating like in terms of like the huge like long game, it's kind of a little bit weaker, but
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. So I'm still excited to see what the future changes will be, because like fighting games, I think the first few editions of any fighting game are always kind of like thorny. There's always problems, and then like over time, hopefully they get balanced out. I'm mostly excited to see if there's like a new French bird game, like entirely though. I think I want to see a new air dasher. so I'm excited to see if they come up with anything there.
I have no idea what, like, hypothetically, if we got a new game, like, the main two French-bred, like, titles are, like, an original IP and, like, a licensed work. So I wonder if they'll make just something new or, like, try their hand again at, like, making whatever IP.
I think it's harder and harder to make, like, a completely new thing right now. But, I mean, they were hiring, you know, programmers and artists, so, like, surely they've got to be cooking up something other than Underday.
True. I mean, yeah, we knew there was an article on it, but like we didn't know Lumina was being developed for like the longest time until like it just randomly got announced on a Famitsu article.
Yeah. Lumina was also one of the games where like the second it was announced, there was like a flood of content, and like then like it came out like on schedule, like impeccable impeccable like game development release cycle. Pity about Moondrive, but you know, can't get everything.
Yeah.
I got opinions about that game, but maybe not for
Vanilla was kind of sus in Lumina. Vanilla was sus in UNI2.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So
I remember the UNI2 Gator where like Linnea's like Fireball follow-up would be plus. Like
dude, me and Brandon like found that out at EVO and like there was like okay, there's no way this remains in the game. It's like was it plus or was it neutral block?
It depended on your like situation. I'm pretty sure it could be plus, but the fucked up thing about that move for me is that like in the corner, if everyone's in the corner, it's minus, but you're actually spaced, and Linnea's like just naturally good at being -1 when spaced. So you basically do that, and then you're like, okay, you can jab and I'll press 5C kill you, or you can do anything else and I'll jab and kill you. What's it going to be? It's like an implicit 50-50. It was really good.
Also, you just make every single like 6 framer's life like awful. Like
yeah.
You can't press on that move. Or you trade.
You know, every 6 framer has like some broken bullshit. So
true.
You gotta hold your mix. You gotta hold mine.
But yeah, kind of got off topic again. But like, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything you want to shill or shout out?
Yeah, there is. So shout out to the uni scene back in Australia. All like maybe 10 of us, spread across like 4 states. So like, you know, I'm good on you guys for continuing to play the game. I hope you can make it out to events in the future, whether it's like EVO or something else. Yeah, shout out to the 2 events in Australia that host uni, or that I've been to that host uni, I suppose, which was Battle Arena Melbourne and Closeheader, both of which are held this year, and I'm going to be trying to go to both of them. Battle Arena Melbourne has a sick trophy, so that's not an incentive enough to go. I think it should be. Look, it's shaped like a fist. It's great.
Oh,
yeah, thanks, Flying, for inviting me on TV. It's been a dream of mine.
Yeah. You get all the... There's going to be hundreds of people who watch this video.
Hundreds.